So let's get right into it. You wanted to do
Yeah.
Oriana or Ziggs? We already did Oriana. You want to do Ziggs? I mean, you win a lot on Ziggs, so you've got some. You're cooking up some tech on the Ziggs.
Yeah, I do win a lot on Ziggs. It's how I got Diamond in season 2020. And I used to play a lot of Corki when Lethal Tempo was different,
Hmm.
but like ever since it was changed, it hasn't really been the same, like in terms of playing Corki. But yeah, I was thinking about that because you had already made an Oriana video, and I was like, oh well, this is pretty helpful and cool. So I was like, well, maybe we like flip it and like I play something that I'm less confident on. But do you usually prefer to, since like I'm only platinum, so it's not like I'm like amazing at a champ.
Hmm.
So do you figure like whatever I think that I'm good on,
No,
we
whatever you want
do?
to learn. The whole idea is that if there's something you want to kind of crack and you haven't had a chance to really break it down, is we sit down for a couple of hours and try to make it work for you. That's kind of the idea behind the session for me. It's an
Okay.
option, so like. If you want that to be Oriana, that can be Oriana. If you want that to be Ziggs, that can be Ziggs. Like, if you want to revamp a champion that you're already good at and you want to just see what my opinion is and how I go through the process of, leveling up beyond that point, we can do that. Or, like I said, if there's a champion that you didn't quite get to have a chance to really try, like for example, let's say I don't know, you've been given Akali to side eye for years now, but you've never really committed to fully learning her because X, Y, or Z, or Syndra, or whatever that champion may be. That was one of the ideas that I brought up because, like I mentioned, as a pro player, you may or may not know this, but I was really well known to playing. Well, not really well known. I guess I was just relatively well known for having some pocket picks. So I would play champions such as Rengar top lane. I would play
I do
champions
know this.
like I would bust out things that other people really wouldn't want to. In competitive play, Singed comes to mind.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
walking you through kind of the process of how I pick up these champions and then how I improve further on it was the initial idea of the session. But at the end of the
Oh,
day, I want to help you with whatever you feel comfortable with. You're the one paying, so whatever you want me to do, I can do. There's just a few
okay,
things that
that's
will overlap either way, so let me know. Either you want to do Ziggs or you want to do a champion that you haven't tried to
okay.
make work. It's up to you.
So, it's funny that Akali was the first person you said because that was the champion that I actually did want to, if we weren't doing something like that would be the champion that I'd want to learn from you
Okay.
because I've played Akali like a decent, like somewhat, but I'm pretty overall I'm not known for my melee champion prowess. So
That makes sense. That's
I'm
okay.
more of a control based
So
guy.
the thing about melee champions is more so than range champions. A lot of the skill is in the how fast you are with your champion, if that makes sense. Like how fast you are at
Okay.
bursting people, how good you are at combos. So I really recommend that if you do want to do a Kali, that first and foremost, we're doing this on stream, so if you don't have like relatively thick skin and it bothers you that people like laugh at you in Twitch chat, I don't recommend it. I just want to be fair with you. People are pretty
Sure.
mean, and I can't stop them from being mean.
Yeah, it's all good.
So keep that in mind. I'm happy to do a Kali with you, but there's two things, right? Those two things is one, practice is going to be really important, and what I'm going to go through with you is basically I play two games. Um, I have one game where you kind of show me what you got. I give you some general pointers, and then based on what I see in game one, I'm going to adjust the pointers going into game two to see if we can do better. Make sense?
Makes sense.
So, would you like to do a Kali?
Oh, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So, I recommend you to also boot up Practice Tool here real quick. I'll run you
Okay.
through some basic combos that you do want to be able to pull off on Akali. Um, these are really important, especially in mid lane, because you don't know the windows in which you get to trade aren't as open. Like they're not as wide as in, for example, top lane. Range champions are going to make you suffer in lane, etc. As for runes, we'll talk about that in a moment. But first and foremost, every single champion, melee champion at least in League, you're going to want to practice certain combos, right? So, for example, um, right, you're going to want to be relatively fast doing E2, and then auto Q, simple stuff. It's just basic
Yep.
stuff, Do practice your auto Qs. It's not something that's particularly easy, but the faster you are, the better, right?
Yeah.
So it's something you want to pick up. Again, like I mentioned, a lot of melee champions, you don't get that much uptime, so a lot of the tricks are about being as smooth as possible,
Okay.
right? So if you're going to mess around with Akali and practice tool, some basic combos you want to know is auto Q, then you want to learn how to pick up the passive, and then walk back and run to attack your opponent. Obviously, you could also Q, auto Q. right? Very, very standard combo that Akali's going to use. You're going to run away, and then you're going to go and fork. So if you're obviously not as fast as this, that makes sense. You don't need to be. The only idea that I want to bring up is when you're learning, and I tell this to everyone, try to set the goal to a pro player standard. Let's say pro player standard is 10, and right now you're at 1 out of 10. You gradually going from 1 out of 10 to 1.5 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10. You're climbing slowly but gradually, knowing that you're trying to get to the 10 out of 10 mark is the way you're going to improve your mechanics. If you're just settling with bad combos, you're just going to shoot yourself in the foot down the line, and you're going to hit a wall at some point, right? So, another basic combo is, I actually did it too early, but you want to open with R1, E, you want to E2, and then R backwards, right? So there's a little hitbox here for Akali, where you can actually hit someone when you're next to them, when you R backwards. So this is a really nice way of bursting someone. Obviously, this is one of the combos that I recommend for everyone to learn, because it's a very non-committal Akali combo, and it works every time. Every time assuming you're fast enough, okay? So as long as you learn the timing of when to do the E2, E2, R2, basically. Like E2 into R2. You can either get a flash and you can still run. You can do anything like that. That said, most of the difficulty of Akali is using the Shroud like this. And like doing maximum damage. I'm going to try and run through what I'm doing, but it's a little bit complicated. Either way, like I said, you open with Q, W, Auto Q. This is going to be your bread and butter. You're going to pick up your next passive, and then you'll learn. Usually, you know, some lanes you can extend and keep trading harder. Some lanes you'll have to back off after that combo. Some lanes, you know, this is different. However, opening with Q, Shroud, Auto Q, and then, you know, you'll see what happens from there. It's never going to hurt. And then obviously the next follow-up will be Q, Auto Q, and then E, and then you'll see what happens. And then if you want to E in, you can Auto Q and then run away again. Anyway, Shroud usage is completely standalone for Akali, as in, like, you can use it to extend your combos. You know, you do get 100 extra energy when you pop it. So you can use it to extend your combos, or you know, get more juice, if you will. However, how you use it, you're going to have to just learn by using it. One thing about the Shroud is it moves. I actually don't know how it moves. Yeah, so the Shroud itself moves, which means if you stand in a circle of your Shroud, in the center, I mean, it's going to move away from you, and as you can see, it's going to move towards me, and I'm going to get ate up again by it. Let me see if I can show you. You see how it moves slightly? I don't know how it works. I actually don't know where it moves. I don't know if there's a, like, I'm not that good at Akali, so I don't have like great knowledge about this. But the Shroud does kind of like move around, as you can see.
Really?
So depending on where you place it, yeah, like for example here, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to be very close to the edge. I think if you press S, you don't really run out of the Shroud, but you can end up getting out of the Shroud very quickly. And then the next thing is do not input auto attack commands. If you input an attack command, it will reveal you. I'll try to show you this. But basically, even if you cancel the auto command, as you can see, it will reveal you, even though I'm in the Shroud. So it's really important when you play Akali that you don't have the habit of revealing yourself by doing auto attack commands, because even if you just input an auto command and Akali starts her auto attack animation, it will reveal you. So you're going to lose a lot of your value from your Shroud. So really make sure you learn how to do this as well. Like I mentioned, a lot of this is like tricks like this. A lot of melee champions rely on this knowledge in order to lane comfortably. But at the end of the day, auto Q gonna be bread and butter pretty much every time. Especially since they nerfed the fact that you can like Q during E2. So you're almost always going to do this. That said, you know, auto Q or Q auto can also still be good. I can't tell you when you're going to do which. That's going to be experience usually. However, what I can tell you is you want to be really comfortable pressuring your opponents, and when you're going to use E in fights, when you're going to use R in fights. In general, just I'm going to leave it at this because I'm going in circles, but at the end of the day, just practice your smoothness, you know? And I don't expect that to happen immediately, starting game 1, but a big thing for Akali is how smooth you are, and you don't need to have the crazy mechanics. There's some really crazy stuff that Akali can do, but you don't need to be crazy on the champion. Trust me, I played this champion a lot in Chinese solo queue, and I had a really high win rate, even though I wasn't very good at her, because at the end of the day, if you know what your job is in team fights, oftentimes that's good enough, you know? Like singling out a squishy target, one-shotting it and dying, it's usually good enough because people have to use a lot of resources to stop Akali, or try
Yeah,
to stop
yeah.
Akali, right?
And I think that's what I'm most interested in just like knowing what my job is. And as a mid laner, I often get bogged down, and because I play range and like control mages, I get bogged down in like CS minions, and then I feel like I miss a lot of stuff, especially in solo queue.
Makes sense. Okay, so before we continue, I
Anyway,
just wanted to go over that. I don't expect you to, instantly have great Akali mechanics, especially if you haven't played her a lot. But I just wanted to put the importance of that, and we'll watch some. We'll watch a VOD where you'll see this in real time. You'll actually notice the best Akali players in the world having really really good mechanics on the champion when they PvP. And that is just really important when you play melee champions because melee champions usually come in at a disadvantage early on in levels. So it's really important that you know how to kill people quickly because you'll initiate fights that you're 40% health to 70 or lower than that even, and you'll be able to win those fights by nature of the champion you're playing. But that also means that you can't really mess up inputs because when you start messing up inputs, you're going to put yourself at a huge disadvantage and potentially throw what should have been a winning fight into a free kill for the opponent. Make sense?
yeah.
This is why I wanted to specify that, and I wanted to get my pen out, but there we go, finally. Because I want to ask you some basic questions, and I'm going to ask this at the start of every single coaching session I do, so you might have seen me ask these questions, but what do the 3 lanes have in common with the jungler? In League of Legends. Yeah, there's something that everyone shares responsibility for, except for the support. The support doesn't have to do it.
Oh, CS.
That's correct. Why do you CS?
To get golden experience.
That's correct, because you want to get stronger. Now, why do you want to get stronger?
So that you can win the game.
How do you do that? You're not wrong. How do you do that?
By killing the opponents and destroying towers.
Okay, they're structures. Correct, right? So, one thing here is farm equals stats, right? Neutral objectives are stat sticks, in the sense of they give everyone big stats. Right? So, Dragon, for example, what did Dragon give you? And Dragon Soul, what do they give you?
Stats.
Correct. What does Baron give you?
Stats.
And gold.
And gold, yeah.
I define winning the game as taking space. Okay, so taking a tower is taking that space, right? So if I take this tower, then suddenly I can push all the way up here now, which is something I couldn't do. Unless you're proxying, which is obviously a bit different. But my cat is griefing me. 1 second. Oh, chunky boy. He's griefing me a little bit. I had a donut and there's powdered sugar all over my, not all over my desk, but all over the plate I ate it, and he's sniffing it, and it's annoying.
Yeah.
You know how it is. Anyway, that is the main idea, is you're getting stats in order to control space. Now, how do you control space? Because space is how you win, right? How can I prove it? Very simply. Do you watch competitive play?
I do. I'm actually a huge Fnatic fan.
That's awesome. There you have it. So, I'm going to say Fnatic right now is blue side, and they have this much vision control. Who's winning the game?
The Fnatic is.
Right. Why is that?
They have more space to work with.
Right. In other words, they're contesting the space where there are resources to be contested.
Yeah.
So they are first to the top wave if they want to be. They are first to the jungle camps if they want to be. And this is how you accrue enough of an advantage in order to start pushing for neutral objectives, right? So obviously, the game is very nuanced. Sometimes you can do Drake in their face, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can do Baron in their face, sometimes you can't. Herald, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, the main idea of the game is to push, farm up, take gold from plates, take gold from neutral objectives. And the way to do that is to take space. What is a jungle gank? A jungle gank is a jungler coming into your lane and saying, you're too far up, you're taking too much space, I haven't allowed you to take that, I'm going to try and kill you for it, right? So a jungler that ganks from let's say it's red side jungle, coming in top right now, and he's coming into gank, he's saying, maybe you're too far up, and he's going to try and retake that space for his top laner. That's ultimately what it's trying to do, right?
Yeah.
Because after you kill the guy, in order to actually get an advantage, one must have to either freeze the wave or push the wave in, right?
Right.
Generally speaking, if you're too far up, it's because you're taking too much space, and the enemy team is going to try and stop you from taking that much space. It's a pretty simple concept, and I know it's not, completely accurate at every situation. It's the beauty of the game. But I like to define it this way so that you understand why you're going to be doing some of the things I'm going to be asking you to be doing. Okay?
Okay.
Very good. So, we control space. How do we control space? Champion strength, right? We use pink wards to kind of define the area we want to control the vision, because vision is OP. Do you play chess by any chance?
I do occasionally. I wouldn't call myself a like
That's okay. I'm very bad at chess, but I get
consistent, but
this
I
idea.
do play chess. Yes.
Fantastic. Do you do you play at a certain elo? Do you play at like 900 online? Are you like higher than that? Are you just to give a general idea? Do you know any openings?
Oh no. No. I'm more of a casual player, so
Fantastic.
I just know the rules. You know
Okay.
what I'm
If you
saying?
know the rules, you know this. So in chess, the way someone wins is by controlling space. Being able to define which squares you want to contest and then challenging your opponent on those squares is the number one way to progress a game in chess. Openings are basically the reason why openings are so studied and used in chess is because an opening that is played basically defines which squares you're going to contest and which you are not. So certain openings you will not contest certain central squares whatsoever, and others you will contest very heavily in those squares. That is the idea. You're basically saying that I'm taking this square, and if you move into this square, I will just capture until I win, right? Until I win that square. And then I will
Yeah.
use that square to pressure you and pressure your stance, right? This is the same with vision, okay? Vision is basically the square you decide to fight around because the fog of war gives you an inherent advantage, right? If you're
Right.
coming into me and you don't see me, but I see you, it's going to be really hard for you to react, right? Let's say you're playing Fiora, you face
Right.
check me. It's going to be really hard for you to melee range riposte my skill shot. Or if you're playing Akali and you face check me, it's going to be very hard for you to use your shroud reactively if I'm throwing a CC from the bush, right? Obviously, depending on
Right.
how far and what CC it is, etc. But ultimately, Fog of War is an inherent advantage that is used in League of Legends, right? Which is vision. Uh, just something to note. That is the basics of the game. Obviously, it is very complicated past this point, but if you're doing these two things, farming to get stats and taking space on the map, you're doing the right thing usually. Okay? So, what I want you to start doing when it comes to macro gameplay, I want you to start moving from mid into the pixel bushes. Now, this is past laning phase, okay?
Okay.
Past the laning phase, you're going to be moving to the pixel bushes because this is how you control the most space as any given champion. Because if you go straight to your lane, you notice that you have a lot less influence,
Yeah.
don't you? That is
Absolutely.
why you want to go through the pixel bushes. Okay, and I don't mean you want to go straight to the pixel here and then like go die. If the enemy team has too much control, maybe you wait here instead, right? But the idea of going through your own jungle is really important because it increases your consistency. If you watch any Korean high challenger VOD, trust me, this is what these guys do.
This is what they do.
It's
Interesting. Okay.
it's very rare they run straight to lane. Now, obviously, if there's a wave underneath your tower, please, go take it. Don't
Yeah.
lose resources for no reason, unless you're consciously making a decision not to fight. But I'll give you a sequence that I was very well known for, just to give you an idea of what I mean. So what I would do is I would go through mid, and I would pick a fight, and then I would either go bot lane and push out my wave, and then the opponent would get their turn to push out the wave back. And the thing I used to do was I would take 2 turns. I would take an extra turn mid before I would go back to bot. So even though I knew there was a wave underneath my tower, what I would do is I would come back mid lane and I would just be waiting for the enemy top laner that now thinks that I'm going to catch bot lane, right?
Right.
So I go through mid, I make my play, enemy top laner goes straight bot, makes his, pushes the wave. Now he goes mid, I go base, and instead of going to bot lane to catch, I match him again off base. So I take 2 turns in a row. So I'm not saying that you need to necessarily do that, but as we're going to play the game, you'll notice this is you'll have control over when you go mid lane and try to play the game, and when you're just trying to farm. And that's what I want to try
Yeah.
to help you with when you're playing these
Okay.
assassins, because unlike what many people think, Akali, Sylas, Kiana, all these melee assassins mid, they actually do they're at their absolute best when they farm a lot. Obviously, you want
Yeah.
to get champion kills, right? You want to get 10 kills, but you also want to be high in CS. Now, Kiana's a bit different, but especially Sylas and Akali, which is why Sylas and Akali are competitively viable champions and played a lot, is because they can actually do really well having an 11, 12 CS per minute game where they just farm a bunch. They don't need to have a bloodbath of a game in order to be efficient or strong in
Mm.
the game. They do really well just farming, and they scale well with levels. Akali, for example, does really, really well with levels. Well, up until 16, I guess. Past that point, it's like meh, but
Right.
basically, levels 9, 13 are huge spikes for her, and then obviously 11 and thingy. So one small thing I wanted to add, since I'm mentioning it anyway, these are really important levels for the majority of champions in League of Legends. Do you know why?
Uh. So I. Wait. I thought level 9 was when you could max, like your
Correct.
first max. So I don't know why 7 is important.
Seven's important is because you get 4 points in your main skill and you unlock your R. So usually this is when a lot of champions are kind of, this is the like the level after 6 where they get like the most noticeable power increase up until
Okay.
9. So I mentioned 7. 6 is also a big deal because obviously you unlock your R, but 7 is
Right.
actually sometimes better than 6 for a lot of champions because you need an extra point in Q. Funnily enough, Akali is one of those
Yeah.
champions where 4 points
Okay.
in Q is a big difference from 3 points in Q because of the way her energy costs work. And when she puts points in Q, her energy cost goes down. So for her, at level 7 is actually a much better window to all in than level 6. Because at level 6, she
Interesting.
still has to. It still costs 100 energy per Q, whereas at level 7, it already costs 85.
85.
It's 85 energy for more damage. So you're not only getting
Pretty big.
one more Q in your combo, you're also getting more damage.
Okay.
So level 7 can be, again, if you want to just put 6 here instead of 7, you can. I'm mentioning 7 because it also is applicable to like Jace, Nidalee, Elise. It's
Okay.
not just level 6 for many champions. It's also applicable for
Right.
like pretty much every single champion in the game likes being level 7. And
Okay.
level 9, and then 11, rank tool,
11. Yeah. Rank
13,
2.
it's
13. This.
your second
Wait. Sorry.
ability.
What? Yeah. Okay. So E in
And then
Akali's
obviously level
case.
16 is going to be when you rank 3 ult, right? The reason why these spikes, I'm mentioning this, is because sometimes one will opt not to take a fight before they hit this level. So Renekton for me is a great example of a champion where if I'm level 10 and there's going to be a big fight, I will see if I can ask my team to back off so I can hit level 11 before I take my big fight, because at level 11, Renekton gets a bunch of stats. Just because Dominus works that way.
Okay.
Gets a bunch of HP, bunch of stats, it's just really powerful.
Okay.
You obviously don't have to, but consider it, especially in solo queue. Sometimes, like, oof, I'd rather just wait for the next fight. Not only do I have an item at level, maybe if I wait and farm for this item, I'll also be level 11, or I'll also be level 13 if I'm patient right now. So I'll not only have an item spike, I'll also have a level spike. So keep that in mind.
Mm.
The flip side as well, in like, oh, if I wait right now, I'm just going to wait until level 12, but who cares about level 12? Might as well fight at level 11, right?
Yeah.
Something to think about. I just wanted to add that. Anyway, I'm gonna open a VOD real quick so we can go over some Akali gameplay with you. I
Okay.
just wanted to do this, first thing. Chovy Akali, I guess. Chovy will do. Chovy will do. Fantastic. Good game, GGXD. I respect that name. Either way, level 1, Akali's actually not weak. She's not particularly strong. However, if you run into Akali and kind of ignore her passive damage, she can definitely chunk a lot of laners already starting level 1. You can also do the little thing where you skill E level 1 against matchups that are very aggressive. So, for example, if you're playing against Aurelia, and Aurelia is going to do the whole Q in your face thing, I'm
You're
sure
right.
you've experienced that. If you skill E and tag her with it, you will actually outtrade her quite hard.
Okay.
So you will you hit her with E1. I'm just going to go back here so I can explain this instead of talking about Aurelia matchup. We'll go back to it in a second. But either way, you notice how auto Q picks up his thingy again and then backs off. So when you're playing Akali, especially early game, you want to really have your shroud available in order to start running. You do not want to rely on your shroud to you want to rely on your shroud to run rather than rely on it to deal damage in the early game. Later on in the game, you can be a bit more aggressive, but most of the best Akali players will not try to squeeze in too much more trading after their initial burst combo.
Okay.
Talon is obviously can be a very scary matchup in the early game.
Yeah.
He's just going to go base TP since he's playing against Ignite Talon and ended up getting chunked a bunch. Makes sense, of course. Nothing really special.
Yeah.
A lot of Akali's early game, honestly, levels 1 to 5 are literally just suffering and waiting for a mistake or
Yeah.
like just chilling. She's really weak. The way she's been reworked is she's really weak unless someone disrespects her really hard and takes like
Yeah.
multiple passive procs, gets tagged by E. That said, actively looking for angles to E on people can be very good for Akali in the early game. So if you can hit those, that is great. So let's look at the way he interacts with Talon. Spell gets thrown out. He gets queued. You notice how he doesn't input any auto attack commands or anything. He just wants to run away. He knows Talon has passive marked on him, and he's just going to run away. So this is actually an important skill to know when you're playing Akali. Sometimes the trade is just not favorable at all, and you're better off not trading whatsoever. So that was a
Yeah.
good example of where he just made sure he stayed in stealth and didn't let Talon proc the passive for free.
Yeah.
Obviously, spacing out when you queue someone, spacing out well to pick up the passive is an automatic for him at this point because he's obviously played many Akali games, but not
Right.
always going to be so clean unless you practice it well. Again, here tags him with E and doesn't take E2. He doesn't need to trade significant amounts of HP right now. He's just trying to whittle down the opponent's resources, which is his mana. You notice how Talon's running out of mana
Right.
slowly but surely? That's kind of what he's trying to attack. So you see how there in real time, Q, auto Q, and one thing a lot of really good Akali players will do is they'll sit in the shroud, basically to throw off their opponent of when they're coming out of the shroud. Because if you just do your Akali combo like I was doing on a dummy, then of course he's going to be able to reply very consistently because he knows it's coming, right?
Yeah.
However, if you mix up the timing of when you come out of stealth, it can be harder to react to, and your opponent might not even be able to squeeze in an auto attack if they're not careful.
That's such a good point.
So it's something that you want to pay attention to. You can pay attention to. Let's put it this way. Again, I'm mentioning all of these things, so whatever you can, retain and think about, great. The VOD's going to be available on Twitch, of course, to rewatch it. But at the end of the day, a lot of these things are very complicated, and you need to be really keen in order to do them consistently and work on that.
For sure.
So, just to give you the general notion here is, let's say right now you have 10 good habits, right? I'm trying to get you to realize you can have 20 good habits, and you're slowly but surely going to go from 10 good habits to 11 good habits to 12 good habits to 13 good habits to 14, eventually to 20. This is the idea. Now, if it were that easy, that would be great, but you probably have about, 20 bad habits too, and basically the idea is whilst you're trying to go from 10 to 20 good habits, you're also trying to minimize the bad habits, right? So you go from 20 bad habits down to 19, and then you're going up from 10 good habits to 11. And this is how you start climbing, because League of Legends measures you by your consistency. It doesn't actually measure you by how good you can have one single game and pop off. It measures you by over a course of many, hundreds or thousands of games, depending how many you play. Over those 1,000 games, how many times do you win? How many times do you influence the game positively rather than negatively? That's what it tries to measure you by. So, here he uses R1 just to escape the fight, right? So he tags the Talon with E. Actually, he didn't. He uses R1 just to escape. He got ignited. Just wants to play it safe. No need to take a risk right now from his point of view. You run energy. You have energy, and Talon does not. So that is the advantage of your champion. You can just kind of use Doran Shield second wind type deals in order to just stay in good condition.
Like,
and then eventually, Camille comes in first mid, or not. Yeah, it's actually top lane. Camille comes in first mid, which allows him to get a better recall than Talon. That said, it's not a huge deal. Just trying to basically look at the PvP exchanges. You notice how he's really patient. Like, he hasn't eaten once this lane. He hasn't really proactively traded with Talon in the sense of he's running at him to try to trade. And that's because actually in Asia, Akali is considered a scaling champion. They are much more patient with how they play the champion. And they're happy having a 0-0 game with 12 CS, 10 CS per minute. Like I mentioned, right? They're very happy to have their Akali just be farming and chilling in lane. They absolutely don't feel the need to have Akali, have an absolute pop-off game where she's smashing completely. Manages to roam into bot lane and grab a kill. Pretty nice stuff. That's not to say that they don't have a killer instinct, They will definitely kill their lane opponent if they think they're trolling, which is right now, for example, he does recognize that the guy is trolling, so he's just going ahead and kill him. One neat little thing, you notice how he's holding his R2 the entire time? R2. You do not want to use your R2 unless you absolutely have to, or you know that he doesn't have flash. In this case, Talon has flash, and the only way to potentially miss this kill is by, dashing in the wrong direction. Because let's say you dash up or down, or left or right, and Talon flashes the other way, he might escape. Whereas if you just hold your R2 and keep DPSing, you're going to kill Talon, almost guaranteed here. Yeah. Which is why, holding the dash there is going to be a better decision. So, like I mentioned, it's not that he's not trying to kill his lane opponent, he's just more patient. There, actually, I think he kind of blundered. I don't know why he didn't. I don't know why he took that E2.
Go forward.
Yeah, I feel like he could have just kept chasing here. So this is actually a nice little combo. Basically, the way Akali's passive work is the champion that the circle of the passive spawns on the champion that you hit with your skill. So when you hit Talon, there's going to be a circle like this around Talon, right?
Right.
Obviously, since you hit Talon here, it's going to be easier. You're going to be closer to the edge of the circle towards yourself. However, you can actually walk through the circle all the way to pick it up on this side as well.
Yeah.
So in this case, I would have much rather seen him Q Talon and then just run through with the Shroud and just run up and pick up the passive over here.
Right.
Because with Vi coming in, this is very likely going to either be a flash or potentially a kill, depending if Vi has ult. Vi has ult, so that's going to be a kill most likely.
Yeah, he could get a kill. Well, look at that cannon minion, you know what I mean? Gotta get the cannon.
I mean, yeah. He juiced up, got the cannon, and Vi solo killed him anyway, so I guess he just
still got him, man.
He knew something I didn't. Not something I like to, Yeah, it's basically what you say when you're like, I don't know what he was thinking, but you know, it is what it is. It's like, well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Tags the guy with you know, E2, and then same ideas with the R. Obviously, smaller window where you hold the E2. So you notice how he goes E, holds the window, doesn't E2 immediately, and now he's going to E2 on the
Boom.
guy.
Yep.
Manages to follow his R2 and kills him. Obviously, the smoothness of the kit. Pay attention. You know, you do want to mimic this. So you notice here, QE, just squeezing in that extra damage. Why not? And then he does auto Q. Auto Q. Just gonna rewind this. You know, QE, auto Q, E2. Drops the shroud for energy and movement speed. Picks up the passive. A nice little auto Q. Auto. Doesn't need to Q anymore because he's juiced. You know, he's out of juice. And then here he kind of reassesses the situation. And this is another example of, you know, he doesn't feel the need to extend the fight. A lot of people here will be like, oh, I want to go even deeper. I have R. These guys are running into the river. Lulu just flashed towards me. No track of Talon whatsoever. Instead, he's going to just say, you know what? I've managed to kill Silas. I just used my shroud, so if I jump into this fight right now, I don't know what the outcome may or may not be, depending where Talon is or isn't or whatever. So I'm going to just keep it nice and safe, and he's waiting for a mistake rather than forcing the fight immediately.
Right. Rather than yeah.
So it just goes to show that the mindset is very much that he's okay with a slow game. You know, he doesn't need to. He's not taking burger flips in the river. You know, there he's not looking for that R. You see how smooth his passive pickups are, right?
Yeah.
Very, very smooth. Very, very smooth. And at the end of the day, the more you play the champion, I mean, this is just where you want to end up being. It'll obviously take a while, and trust me, I'm not that good at Akali either. Especially, like, on a dummy, I can maybe do it, because, like I said, I do think it's important that you practice on dummies like this, because that's where you start. But I just want to bring awareness when you're playing the game, that you try to have these combos down, and then you slowly improve on them. So he looks for a little top roam here, and we'll see how he executes the gank here. Proto Belt, RE, tags him.
Easy.
Yeah, the number one combo that Akali's known for really is the RE combo, right? So you can cast E during, basically near the end of your R1 cast. I wouldn't say it's immediate. I don't know if you can immediately cancel it if you're like casting it immediately. I think there's a small period where you cannot cancel your R1, but pretty much instantly you can cancel it. How does he do this? How does he set this up? Let me look. There's a TP coming in here. You can't see it because the spectator client is what it is. Fishes for Q. Right here, wants the Proto Belt. And then, like, auto QE is what I'm assuming he was looking for. But Jace flashes well and survives. And let's see how he starts laning against Jace, right? Oh, that's a cute little trick there. So, if you Shroud, you can E backwards into your Shroud. So, small thing, but he's just going for a plate there. And then he got yeeted by Jace.
That's what he was going. I didn't see the play.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. He just got yeeted back by Jace, so he had to use his R to escape.
Right.
And he's just, you know, chunking away the Jace. Gonna Proto Belt forward here to try and get another passive proc in. But after level 9, this is what Akali starts being able to do, actually, in a lot of lanes. It was just, like, Q you down, and just, like, mow you down with Qs, which is, like, honestly one of the most frustrating experiences, having played against some really good Akalis. Like, when they start just mowing you down with Qs max range, some matchups, it's so depressing. Which just Qs you 3 times for, like, 700 damage nearly, and you're just like, what the hell is that? And she shrouds and walks away, and you're just like, wow, I couldn't even auto-attack her. I couldn't do anything. So it's a small thing to note. You don't always have to pick up your passive and deal damage. Sometimes just smashing Q 2 or 3 times in a row is going to be better than giving your opponent an opportunity to hit you back. So there, you're just mashing Q. Obviously, you're playing against a range champ there, and he just doesn't have the tools in order to tag him. Tries to be cheeky here with a little E.
With a flash, but...
he wanted to E, he wanted to basically, if you E flash, it changes the direction it comes from. I don't think that's the reason why he flashed. He just didn't want to get hit by the E2 here. Oh, so sorry, Talon's W. On the return, which is why he got killed in the end, right? Because here, if he manages to mark Talon, I do think he ends up winning that and dodges the W damage. He might win that. I'm not sure if he will or won't, but he tried to be cheeky there. You love to see it, trying to squeeze out the absolute maximum. In terms of build, Proto Belt into Shadow Flame is going to be pretty standard.
Okay.
But you can go like a more tanky build on her as well.
Riftmaker or whatever.
Riftmaker into Demonic is another option. I'd say as a mid laner, usually you're just going to play Proto Belt, Shadow Flame most of the time. Proto Belt, Zhonya's one of those two. Depending on how good you are in the game and how comfortable your champion is against the enemy team comp, because obviously certain comps are going to have champions like Vi. They're going to be pretty annoying for you when they lock you down. Even if you Shroud, you're
Hmm.
still going to get CC'd as far as I'm aware. I don't think you just immune her art, which, I don't know, Gwen does, so I actually don't know how that works, but I'm assuming you still get knocked up as Akali.
Yeah,
That
I would
said,
think so.
against the enemy comp, Zhonya's is nice for him for armor, but in this case, he's very, very strong, so he doesn't feel the need to grab the Zhonya's. He's just going to go for Shadow Flame. You notice how he's just going to side lane here and he's just chilling inside. This is what I want you to avoid doing, okay? So here he actually catches him. So he catches the wave of tower, hovers into mid. So you remember the pixel bush that I mentioned? Hovers into mid, goes to the space, sweeps it, takes the space. He's looking, is my team doing anything? The answer is no. Time to go back to bot lane. Now,
Mm.
teleport, one of the biggest strengths of teleport is that when you have teleport, you don't have to worry about grouping with your team all too much. So you're going to just be chilling. So here, for example, the natural play would be to connect with your team and move after pushing this wave. However, there are obviously cases where you're very strong assassins on side lane, so instead you're going to be trapping for an unsuspecting opponent, right? So instead of hovering for the mid wave here and trying to make a play, he's going to use vision in order to try and trap the guy. Now I'm going to teach you a concept that is quite complicated, and I'll remind you of this after we play our first game. But the way vision works in League of Legends, and the way champions their influence work, is when you disappear in fog. I like to explain it like this. You have a sphere of influence, okay? Right now, the sphere of your influence is what's happening on your screen, okay? This is what you influence. It's what's on your screen.
Hmm.
However, when you disappear in Fog of War, your sphere of influence gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, assuming that the enemy team doesn't know where you are, because you could be going anywhere. So we don't know what the enemy team's vision is, but let's say I'm going to draw a few circles around Akali, and we're going to assume that these circles I'm drawing, or the half circles I'm drawing, are the amount of time it takes for Akali to get somewhere. So assuming that for Akali right now, it takes 5 seconds for her to get here, right? Which would be the first circle, right? This first little ring I drew is 5 seconds away. This is 10 seconds away. This is 15 seconds away. And this is 20 seconds away. Are you following?
Yeah.
Right? So for these dots, this is 5, 10, or 20 seconds away. However, again, she could go in any direction. So it's not one dot, it's actually a line, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, this is the sphere of her influence, assuming that she's not on Fog of War. Sorry, she is in Fog of War. She's not on Vision. The longer she goes missing, the larger the sphere gets. In fact, after 8 seconds, there's going to be a sphere of influence that starts growing from here. Because after 8 seconds, she could have recalled, and then from here, 8 seconds, let's say this takes 12 seconds to get here, let's say it takes 15 seconds, this takes 20 seconds, this takes 25 seconds, this is 30 seconds. You get what I'm trying to show you? The
I do.
longer you go missing, the more pressure you're putting on your opponent, because they don't know what you're doing. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense to me. Yeah.
This is why, when you group with your team, you do not show unnecessarily.
Hmm.
If you unnecessarily show, you lose your sphere of influence, and you go from having a full map-wide sphere of influence, potentially, to having a tiny sphere around you.
My goodness, I show all the time. I'm literally just like, hi, I'm
Yes,
here.
so you are reducing
This
the
is
amount
where
of
I am.
pressure you're putting on your opponent. Now, obviously, vision is very powerful, for the reason that when you are somewhere, you are exactly there and nowhere else. Right? The second he shows and catching his bot wave, his sphere of influence resets. Boom. It's all gone. Now, if he goes missing, for every single second he goes missing, it will start growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And obviously, there's teleport, so you can obviously make teleport somewhere. That's why
Right.
TP is wildly accepted as the best solo lane summoner spell, because you can influence 2 places at the same time. However, notice that if you are a solo laner that's pushing a bot wave deep, and you want to hover mid, some of the best ways to pressure the enemy team is, in fact, to not show it all. The next important thing is, this is why pinks are really good and sweepers are really good, because you can guarantee that the enemy team doesn't know where you are. Because if you walk into this bush and there's a ward, and you sweep it, then it repeats again. Your sphere of influence starts growing again the second you disappear, right? That's where you can be. Okay, so for example, let's say right now, we are red team right now. Let's do this exercise with Talon and where Talon can be. So the last time we see Talon, where he is and where he can be. Okay? So I'm going to show you this because it becomes really, really obvious how powerful this is. So now Talon shows at 1907, right? 1907, he's right here. I put the dot right here. Let's make a big fat dot. Look at that. Boom. That's Talon right now. Okay?
Big dot.
That's a fat dot. That's Talon. And Talon's dot is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger the more he goes missing, right? So the more time he has, this is his sphere right now, and the more he's going, he's getting bigger. Talon can be here now. Talon can be anywhere between here and here now. He could be anywhere here now. Like I mentioned, 8 seconds in, now here he starts being able to go from here, and they're going to overlap, right? So Talon could be anywhere in the Fog of War from where he went missing initially, anywhere in his sphere of influence. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, at this point, he's gone missing for 30 seconds. Talon is very fast around the map. So at this point, we can both agree, if I pause, Talon can literally be anywhere where we don't have vision.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
could
especially because it's Talon.
he could literally be here right now. He could be here. He could be here. He could be here. Maybe not. Okay, maybe not in our top jungle. Okay, but he could be here. He could be here. He could be here. He could be here. He could almost be here. I mean, we just checked, right? Which is why you checking is important, because you're checking where the opponent may or may not be going. But the point is he could almost be anywhere. Give it 20 more seconds, and he can actually be in our top jungle, and we wouldn't know. He could be here. He could be here. He could be here. Unless someone goes there and checks, he technically can be there. And we're going to see Talon like a minute from 1907 is when we last saw him. Okay.
Yes.
Pause. We're about to see him on bot wave, but we don't know that. In other words, it's been 55 seconds since we see him. They don't know where Talon is, which is why they're playing and catching the wave safe. Because they have no idea where Talon is, but they know Akali is bot. Now, the Akali has TP, so keep that in mind. She can participate in fights. But I just want to show you, you've got to make sure that you leverage pressure. Why is Akali not just showing right now?
Because first of all, somebody could come that she could kill, and also people are like, wait. You know, I don't know if we can move in here because we don't see Akali.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
He's pressuring their team topside right now, and he's obviously in fog, which means that he could be anywhere. That means that them hovering into the bot river right now might be a total waste of time. So keep that in mind. I just wanted to add that because a lot of people, they show for no reason, and they don't realize how much pressure that puts on people, especially when you play an assassin. So what happened, I did a coaching yesterday with someone where basically he solo killed the enemy AD carry here at the tier 2, and then when he stopped showing, the AD stopped going bot lane too, because they're scared at that point, right? If you solo kill your opponent when they catch a wave and you stop showing, they're not going to just repeat the same process unless they know where you are. So you're stopping people from farming just by existing. Doing nothing is often doing something. Obviously, if you're weak, it doesn't work that well. But if you're very strong in the game, people will be scared of you if you just don't show anywhere.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I feel like it's never like no reason that I'm showing, but it's a bad reason, right? Because like I'm like, oh, I gotta get this melee minion. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is so usually like, if you're contesting your teammate's farm, then you're usually doing yourself a disservice, right? Because you're not only sharing farm with one of your teammates, you're also you're showing on farm that does not need to be shared, right? Like. That's okay. So he does a neat little play here where enemy team has mid priority and actually crosses into bot, and he just TPs straight top and sends it. Basically does the old switcheroo, and now they're going to be late on the rotation because they hovered into him bot side first. But it's a small thing. I don't really want to focus on this. I actually want you to be more focused on connecting with your team, because if you have this much bot push right now, what I want you to do is, you see how Vi and Nami are here. Yeah. What I want you to do as Akali is to move towards them and go help them. For sure. So that we can contest this midwave together and pick a fight around that. I actually think what Chovy does here in terms of macro gameplay is terrible. Going to hit this bot tower is absolutely disgusting. This is illegal gameplay. Not connecting with your team here and playing around the fact that your weaker top laner, because obviously there's a big top gap, right? Your weaker top laner will join the TP. So right now the idea is you're gonna match Jace's moves. So Jace is gonna move down, and here you're gonna move up, and then you're gonna pick a fight, but you have the TP, and Talon is going to be a little bit later, so you're gonna have a man advantage. That's the idea.
Yeah.
Because he has to choose between taking this wave or dropping it, right? Basic macro idea. Right, like I said, right? Two concept. One, farm. Two, space. You can't do both at the same time. So if you're the one that farms first and then moves to the space first, you can make the opponent choose between having to give up the space or give up the farm. Because he can't do both at the same time. Flaming Chovy, I mean, I flame the decision he made in this game. I'm telling you right now, if his coach is watching this, his coach will also agree with me. Like, it doesn't make any sense for his bot lane 3-man to be, holding each other's hands right now, scared of whatever, when right now our Akali can group mid and end the Nexus, like literally he's a fucking monster. Level 14 Akali with double pen items right now, absolute beast, can definitely carry a fight, 3v3, 4v4, 5v5. My opinion, of course. Like, I don't know, if you want to wait for Akali 16, then go for it, but I feel like given the current state of the game, if I look at the items, Akali moving first and creating an outnumbered advantage can absolutely win you a fight with Vile. Anyway.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask you a quick item question?
Yeah, feel free.
You said Protobelt Shadow Flame is pretty standard. What if, like, you have a few AP champs on your team? Is Shadow Flame still a good option?
So, the way magic penetration works is, if we pause right now, okay, Akali has 62 MR. 62 MR. So at 100 MR, you get 50% damage reduction, okay, from magic damage. 200 MR, you get 66%. 300, you get 75%, okay? Why is this relevant? Well, as far as I'm aware, The idea being that the difference between Void Staff and flat penetration is around. Okay, Void Staff starts getting better than your flat penetration options. Usually around the 70 MR, 70 MR, 70 60 MR, 70 60 or so, because it's 40% of the MR, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a champion that has 60-ish MR, so 60 to 70 MR, you can probably find the actual numbers. But like I said, I usually say like 100 MR is 100 MR. Sorry, is a 50% damage reduction, right? So usually like my quick maths is like 60% is like I don't know like 35-ish percent damage reduction, something like that. It's around there,
Okay.
35 to 40. The idea being basically that if people are going to stack MR above 100, going flat penetration is going to be pointless because flat penetration gets better and better the lower your magic resistance is. So the way percent penetration works is percent penetration goes first. So right now he has 10 flat from Shadow Flame, 18 from Sorcerer's Shoes, plus 5 from Proto Belt, and then another, how much? Is it 6 from Proto Belt, or is it, how much does Proto Belt give? 6, right? Am I crazy?
Does
I'll
the
just Google
chat
it.
know? I don't
I'll
know.
Google it. This is why you have Google. I don't need chat. I have Google.
I don't use
League
Protobell
Wiki.
very often.
League
6 you
Wiki.
get from Ludens, I know, I think. But...
Yeah, I know 6 is Ludens, but I'm assuming it's the same as well. Protobell. Here we go. 5 pen? This is not the right Protobell. Hextech. It's, what is it called now? It's not Hextech anymore. What the hell
oh,
is
is
it
it
called
not?
now? Hello?
Uh,
Rocket Belt. Whatever, man. 6 pen.
oh,
There you go.
Rocket Bell.
Rocket Belt. Whatever, man. Oh, it's still called a Proto Belt. Anyway, so he's got
Uh,
15 from Shadow Flame, up to 20 on a shielded target. So keep that in mind. So it's either 16 or 20. Um,
mhm.
sorry, it's 10 or 20. Or if it's below 1k health. So if you're below 1,000 health, you will also get 20. So depending on how much health you
Mhm.
have and who you're hitting, you go up to 20. But let's just calculate with either the average of 15 or 10 just to be generous, right? Because I prefer to calculate my damage less, and then if I end up getting more in game, that's just a happy little accident, rather than saying I'm going to one shot someone and then I won't. Anyway, quick maths:
Mhm.
33 plus 6 equals 39, right? You got 39 penetration. So if we're hitting someone with 120 MR and we have 39 penetration, we're going to get him down to 90. No, 81 MR. Sorry, my maths is off. Almost 81 MR. Now we agreed 100 MR is 50% damage reduction, so reducing them to 81, if you actually go check it in game, you'll see that it's about 40 something percent damage reduction. So only got 10% increased damage bonus, which is pretty fucking pathetic for how much magic resistance we're
Yeah.
trying to stack, right? So if we apply this 39 magic penetration to someone that has 40 magic resistance, which if you check in game will be roughly 40%, not 40%, 40 flat magic resistance, sorry. This will amount to roughly, I would say, off the top of my head, like 28 or so magic damage reduction. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Again, I'm going off of this because I want to just speed it up. So you're going from 120 MR reduction, which is like, they have 120 MR, they're reducing about 55% magic damage. And then you put them down to 81. You go from 55 down to like 40 something, right? And you go from 28 down to 1 MR equals 1% damage reduction. So you notice how you get 15% increased damage here, and you get 27% increased damage here. Okay?
Yeah.
This is the reason why flat penetration is better against champions that have low MR. For Void
Right.
Staff, you just do 40% of their total MR minus your current number, or plus your current number. Why? Because it's 14% total penetration, and total penetrations it's calculated before flat penetration. So your 39 that you have right now, which will be actually, it will be plus 5 because you have Proto Belt, so that's 44. On a champion with 120 in magic resistance, which will shred by 40%, right? Minus 40%, equals 45. No, sorry, I'm choking. It's not. Is it 45? I don't know. My brain is slow. It is 45. Minus 45, right? So you're doing minus 45, minus 44. So you do minus 44, minus 45. And they will go from 120 magic resistance, right? Which is what they have right now. 120 MR is roughly, like we said, it's going to be like 55 to 60 magic damage reduction, right? Somewhere, it's probably closer to 55. I don't think it's 60. Because like I said, 200 MR is 66% damage reduction, right? So it's closer to 55. 55 down to 45 MR. You do minus thing. This is 80. This is 89. 120 minus 89, right? End up with 31, and you end up with 31 MR is like the standard. I believe it's 23% damage reduction. So you reduce the, you basically get 30% increased damage, which is why flat penetration against, flat penetration with Void Staff against 1 MR item is actually not the worst. It's still okay.
Okay.
It's when everyone on the enemy team has more than 120 MR that like Death Cap becomes a better option, you know.
Okay.
You're comparing Void Staff to other options. However, generally speaking, as Akali, this is why you're still going to see Proto Belt, Shadow Flame, even in games where multiple people on your team might have just magic damage.
Magic damage, yeah.
So magic resistance is lucrative for the enemy team. You're still going to see it because if you just grab Void Third, it's okay.
Okay.
That said,
okay.
you may want to replace your Shadow Flame with Zhonya's, because that's where you're going to see like the biggest discrepancy in terms of gold to damage ratio, where it's like, yeah, you can have 100 AP in some Magic Pen, but in reality, it's only going to give you a few percentages of increased damage compared to having, you know, armor, a really good active, etc., etc. So usually what people will do in high magic damage comps is either they'll grab Void Staff second, or they'll grab it third after Zhonya's if they need Zhonya's, or they'll go like Rocket Belt into Deathcap Void, or sorry, Void Deathcap in that order, or they'll go just in general a more tanky build with like a Riftmaker type build. But this is why Akali almost exclusively goes Sorcerer's Shoes. It's very rare for her to buy any other shoes for this reason, because you're aiming at this guy's magic resist and this magic resist, and the squishy champions is basically what you're looking for. So even if you're going to be playing against a tank, your champion actually runs out of energy to kill tanks, right? So you don't want to tunnel vision too much on building to kill tanks. You should really just make sure you can kill the high value, high damage targets. Make sense?
Makes sense.
48. Oh, I did cringe math. My bad. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I wanted to speed it up because I don't want to, you know, spend too much time on the math lesson. I just wanted to explain how. Yeah, I didn't want to do too much math, because yeah, at the end of the day, you can Google these numbers. Anyway,
right.
what I want you to focus on when you're playing Akali in games. So the first thing that I want you to pull from this VOD is be patient. Okay, like I want you to feel stressed about finding kills and angles. Obviously, if you feel like you can kill a guy, great, take the opportunity, but. Focus on CSing, you know, make sure that you interact with your opponent, especially poking them with Q if you can. Okay? So you look for poke with Q, but you just take it nice and easy. You let the game play itself. You react to your opponent. You do not proactively fish, okay?
Okay.
Keep the fishing rod in the garage for now. We are going to be reactive. Okay. And I'm going to show you in our VOD after you play how to proactively make plays happen, alright?
Okay.
The next thing I want you to focus on is moving on the map like this, okay? Once laning phase ends, we're going to be starting to do this. Make sense?
It does.
Awesome. Feel free to queue up. And again, if you want to, you know, if you want to take a couple of minutes to try and practice some of your combos, feel free. It is pretty hard to do, so if you don't have confidence doing that, maybe you want to do that real quick. Or if you'd rather just hop in game, you can also do that. But at the end of the day, your execution on these type of champions is going to entirely decide how much control you have, right? Over your laning phase, over sideline. Like the difference between a control mage and an assassin is the pressure. Both have pressure, but in order to actually exercise the pressure that an assassin has, you must kill them. You actually have to go on them and press the buttons and remind them why you have pressure. You know, whereas control mage is like, if I walk up to you as Victor or Syndra, like I can probably get you to run away. Or I can throw my spell from a safe distance and walk away, you know? It's like, I'm not committed. Whereas for assassins, to exercise their their presence, right? The pressure they can put on opponents, they very much have to just go and send it. So keep that in mind, right?
It's very different from the way that I play. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go straight in, give chat something to laugh at, you know what I mean?
If you're okay with that, I don't mind.
It's no worries. Alright. Do you want me to queue up?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. I put top as my secondary only because I feel like it's the best chance to get mid.
That's
but usually I put bot lane.
It's up to you. You can put bot lane in the dodge. I don't mind. I don't mind waiting. At the end of the day, I want to make sure you get 2 mid games in, so don't feel bad.
Got you. Okay.
You can always hit them with the "Can I mid, please."
Can I mid, please?
I feel like very often people like, especially now that you don't know champion select. You know, like people don't know who you are in champ select. Like I rarely get asked to like link OPGG. I haven't even been asked link OPGG ever. And when I ask like, "Can I X please?" people usually agree. In the past as well, though, like even if it wasn't on my account, I feel like if you just say please, a lot of people will just let you.
It's true. It's true, and especially if I'm mid top, I feel like a lot of times, like a
Yeah.
mid laner will be like, "Oh yeah, I'll top." Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know, that's my experience. I don't know. Like when people are like, it kind of triggers me when people are like rude about it. You know, it's like, give me mid. It's like, fuck you.
Right, right. Asked nicely, of course. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, see that he went for the E2 into R2. You know, a little cheeky. Why not? You get the damage if you're inside the champion. There's like a hitbox inside of Akali, inside her model. That like the kick basically,
Mm.
the start of the kick also counts as the instance of damage. So it's like a little hitbox behind her. It's pretty good.
I didn't actually see because I didn't realize you're still playing
Oh no, worry.
the Amazon
I'm just
thing
going
game.
over it just to appreciate. You know,
Sweet.
I want to.
Absolutely. Appreciate
Can
the
absorb a
trophy.
lot of information just watching the game, watching the minimap. You know, trying to understand the decisions people make.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And just getting into the mind of one of the best players in the world. When I got fucking dunked.
One of the best players in the world.
I caster cursed him unintentionally.
You did.
Well, he may be one of the best players in the world, but that Morello is not legal. Not a very good item in this game. Do not recommend.
Oh, Morello.
He definitely should
Yeah.
have gone for a death cap this game, I think. Just more damage. Oh wow. It just bit the dust again and
It's
FF.
falling apart.
That's
Wow.
fucking funny. I open a fucking VOD of him going 5-1 and then his Nexus explodes. That's fucking funny.
It's because he teleported on Jace, you know.
Scrimmy versus Chovy reline. When did we scrim against Chovy? I remember it was 2020, right? 2020 and 2019, I think actually. True.
Woo. 2019 is when I became a fan. It was after Pete's video of you guys coming back at Worlds, like after like the second week in groups. That video is just a masterpiece, and then I became a Fnatic fan after that, just because
Awesome.
of Pete.
I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
mean, Pete's the GOAT. It's facts.
He's the go, man.
Someone asked me for your opinion on electrocute Akali, so I actually wanted to bring this up because I'm a big statistics person, okay? I'm a believer that
Okay.
when something happens hundreds of thousands of times and is repeated, then usually there's going to be some, correlation. So you see how here there's 71,000 games of Conqueror Akali and 37,000 games of Electrocute Akali. I'm even going to
Yeah.
go ahead and go back and I'm going to go double check the last patch. And again, these are all patches that Akali didn't get changed. And the numbers are pretty much the same, right? So 77,000, 39,000, right? So let's go to the last patch before that. And we're looking again at 82,000, 38,000. And consistently, Electrocute wins 2% more games in mid lane on Akali than Conqueror does. So in other words, I'm inclined to believe Electrocute is better.
Right.
Does that mean he's better in every single situation / scenario? No. However, one thing to note, and this is Platinum Plus, okay? So if we go to D2 Plus, maybe that will change. We'll see. Let's double check. It gets closer, as you can see, right? So the sample size got smaller, but the win rates get closer. What does this mean? Conqueror is harder to use. Obviously, it requires more skill
Right.
and more insight of a fight, because in order to leverage Conqueror, you need to be staying longer into a fight, which means that you need to be better
Yeah.
with the champion. But that said, even with that, Electrocute and Footwork actually outperform Conqueror, even at Masters Plus. So in other words, it looks like you
So
should just play Electrocute if you're playing the
yeah,
Kali
it looks
mid.
like unless it's like where I need fleet or something, I guess, right?
Yeah, no, obviously the sample size on Fleet will fluctuate. If you want to go all the way up to Challenger, maybe that's different. That's pretty much it.
Right.
It kind of breaks even in Challenger, but the point is, if you need to be at a Challenger level in the Kali to leverage Conqueror enough, maybe let's just take Electrocute.
Right. Okay. Um, I am in Champs League now. I picked my champion. They gave me mid even though I got top.
Oh, awesome. Well, feel free to
Uh,
screen share. Oh, you already did. Fantastic. All right,
I
let me help
did,
that.
yes.
Let me help in.
So if you could tune in and let me know. So I mean, the Electrocute, I assume like Taste of Blood. Oh, actually, Sudden Impact or Taste of Blood.
Taste of Blood's
Either
going to be
one.
the safe bet, so I recommend going Taste of Blood. Again, the mindset here is to just have the most amount of survivability early on. That
Okay.
said, Sudden Impact does scale better and does give you a nice little 7 magic pen, which is pretty good. So if you feel like the lane's pretty easy and you have a lot of breathing room, you can absolutely go for Sudden Impact. I would just say default to Taste because it's more important to have a safe early game.
Mm.
Make sense?
Oh, it's Oriana.
All right.
All right.
So again, if you feel like Oriana is relatively free, you can just go ahead and grab Sudden Impact. Ultimate Hunter will be what people take, and then Eyeball Collector is also what people take pretty much every
Eyeball,
single
yeah,
time.
yeah.
And then your secondary will be most of the time second wind, and like pretty much always second wind or bone plating, and then you'll grab unflinching or overgrowth. So Akali actually has really high base health, one of the highest in the game. So if you want to grab
Okay.
overgrowth, if you don't need the tenacity, you can. In this case, obviously unflinching is going to do some serious work. Playing a
Yeah.
Sejuani and Galio, so
Yeah,
this is pretty
Galio,
much
yeah,
it. And then you always
unflinching,
go
yeah.
double, you always grab double adaptive force.
Okay.
That's an
And then MI.
automatic. And then, like I mentioned, flat health is actually the best on her in terms of win rate, and
Oh,
it's also again her flat health, like her base health is really high. So if you get flat health, you have really high health. One thing I will say is armor is the rune you want to look out for because that's really what you want to have. So Crime City is, in my opinion, the best skin. Her chromas are
best
insane on
skin.
that skin too. If you want to shell out for that, but in my opinion,
Do it.
this one's really really cool.
Crime City is pretty cool. I actually like really like because Silverfang's such an old.
Then use
I
it.
think this is a really sick skin, but no, let's do Crime City. I'm down for Crime City.
Okay. Yeah. So Chinese Akalis apparently love electrocute with thingy.
Okay.
I can't. Giga Chad.
I can't. I'm sorry, Waffles.
Poor waffles.
Waffles, no. I'll tell him later.
It's all good. Alright, so I'm gonna record your POV and I'm gonna
Cool.
obviously be doing a little review after this game. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna try to avoid backseating too much. You know, if it's
Yeah.
absolutely necessary, I will hop in and give you some backseating. But at the end of the day, I do want to focus on paying attention to your habits more than anything. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome.
1.2 mil on the Oriana's okay.
That's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points.
She in the bot lane.
Let's see if she
I
buys
swear,
tier 2
like
boots first.
average to like higher elo has some of the fucking funniest names.
Oh, you mean like mid to
Yeah,
that
it's
like
like
that kind of
from
area?
like gold until like diamond 4 has some of the funniest usernames. I swear, like people just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't.
Dorn Shields is going to be the safe bet pretty much every
Yeah,
time. You're only going to go Dorn's Ring into matchups like melee matchups that you're very confident to beat, so keep that in mind.
I usually just pretty much default just watch mid around here.
Yeah, that's okay.
People like to. Hello. The B emotes. I got my fanatic
Nice.
emotes.
I respect it. The fucking the mana flow. You cannot give your lane opponent mana flow. It's illegal.
No. It's too OP.
Oh god.
He's gonna give him. Oh,
Wow, well,
okay.
that Oriana, like from what I can tell from where these queues have gone, like my goodness, we should be rather comfortable. Let's leave it at that.
Well, I could troll harder. We'll
So when
see.
you're playing second window and shields, try not to take too much poke consecutively. So spreading
Mm-hmm.
out the poke you take so you can leverage more health regen is a big thing.
Okay.
Let's focus on grabbing as much CS as we can, and we're going to
Okay.
queue her when she's overextending. So obviously we're not going to ignore her. We are going to interact with her if she walks up too far. Don't be afraid to queue her in W, but unless she's actively going for auto attack, she shouldn't be. You don't need to be trying to auto attack the wave or anything like that. You don't need to do that. You just need to wait until things are at CS. Perfect. We're just going to back off. Try to CS the next creep. Awesome sauce. Nice. Really good. The chip damage is really, really nice, of course, because she doesn't heal it back, you do.
Getting pretty big.
Yeah, but she's crushing it a bit too early, so this is going to be good.
Oh, that's rough.
Oh, it's absolutely fine. Missing some CS is not a big deal. I don't mind it at all either. But like in general,
Okay.
it's expected to miss some CS when you're playing champions like Akali. The one thing I will say, oh my god,
I should have
Zac
maybe gone
gank.
in. I don't
No, I mean what you did is perfect. It's great
know.
acting. You didn't know what was going on, neither did I, and there's a wild Zac gang. Flash gone. One thing I'll say is you want to skill W second usually. It helps you CS
Yeah,
much more
right.
freely.
Yeah, I agree. I literally was like, after I was like, probably would have been better. Thank you.
Alright, wait. Mr. Roboto over here. It's fine. I think it's just my internet.
Who, me?
It's probably
Oh,
my internet, to be fair. I don't know. Honestly,
fuck.
Discord kind of lags like crazy sometimes. It's a bit annoying.
Yeah.
It is what it
So
is.
she based, I guess. She's
Great,
gonna
slow push
base
the wave.
TP.
Yeah, slow push the wave.
Yeah. Hello.
hmm So here, when you have TP advantage, a good way of leveraging it is to like actively start looking for trades now. So even if you take like a
Okay.
technically bad trade, it's a good trade.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Well, now I
As
have
long as you
any
don't
advantage.
die, you know, you want to avoid dying. So here, for example, you're
Right.
about to hit level 4, so a little bit of patience. You hit level 4, and now you practically start looking.
Oh, missed.
That's okay. Pulled out your fishing rod, and you tried,
I did, didn't I?
and that's
So I
what
need to
matters.
probably shove next wave maybe, and then
Sure.
just because it's kind of big here, and I'm kind of in a bad place now. I'm taking too much space here.
Well, no, you're being forced to take too much space.
Yeah, right.
There's a difference. All right, let me just try. I'm gonna close my Google thingy because maybe that's why I'm lagging. Oh, it
Let's take a
froze.
turret shot there, you know?
Well,
No big deal.
my screen is frozen, so I didn't see shit.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's griefing me a bit.
Okay. Well, she's freezing on me currently. I'll
Okay,
just
well you can just
cast it for you.
okay, well you can
Base
base
recall,
TP.
maybe?
Yeah,
Base
you can
TP?
base TP
No?
if you can't touch the wave. Absolutely, yeah. Don't be afraid of doing that.
What do you like? Maybe boots here and then
Well, if I could see your screen,
amp
I'd let
tone.
you know. But 1 second, I'm trying to fix
Boots,
that.
amp tone is what I can afford. Or ruby
Then go for
crystal.
that. That sounds good to me.
Cool.
So let's try and do this. Could you restart the stream from your end?
Absolutely.
Thank
Let's
you. I
try it again.
appreciate that. Let's try that again.
All right.
Okay, well, it still doesn't work.
Really?
Yeah, that is a
Very
bit
fun.
concerning. I'm not sure. Let me reconnect real quick. 1 second. Oh, yeah. If you get a chance, maybe you can drop in and out of the Discord channel, or like you can drop in and out of the other one.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting griefed.
So like drop out and then back in?
Yes, you can
Okay.
just drop in and out. You can hop in waiting room. I'll move you again.
Okay.
Discord streaming is so bad. Oh no, you're back. You're live. Awesome
I'm
sauce.
back? Let's go.
You're back. Awesome. So what did I miss?
Me kind of trolling a bit.
Well, that's okay. We're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. 10 CS down. That's nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna hit 6 soon. And she knows. She's kind of
Just playing safe. So let's focus on the farm, okay? Like I
okay.
mentioned.
Yep. Oh,
Oh, that's really good. Let's kill that guy. Yeah, we want to commit here. And we want to take the 2v2. I'm down.
wait. Fuck, where
We
did I
are the
go?
other way. That's okay.
Where did I go there?
Okay, we're
Oh
gonna have to
no.
run here.
Oh no, this is whew. Okay,
That's
I don't
okay.
know what happened there. I went the other way
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah, yeah. So what happened is you are through Sejuani,
Mm-hmm.
and because she walked behind you, you kind of just went through her.
Really? I was trying to R Oriana. Oh,
No,
this
that's
is
okay.
not a great
Don't feel bad.
start.
That's okay. Let's grab Ruby Crystal and move out. Mm-mm. Mhm. That was a rough one. It's all good.
It's all good.
All right. Let's farm up.
Any
Mm-hmm.
value in doing this?
Yeah, there is. You want to freeze the wave. Oh, you can kill the range creeps if you want and just freeze the cannon creep. That
Okay.
works too.
Ooh.
That's fine. This is good enough.
We're doing
Focus on
Drake.
last hitting. Let's get to level 7, and after level 7 you can start looking, and then obviously level 7 and 9 are going to be your best bets. But we're going to need ult anyway, and we're going to be waiting for Zach to look for an opportunity mid either way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hovering is okay, but we don't need to pull move right now. I can call for a gank mid here. I think it's not bad if you ping on my way once. Yep. Looks good, we can go. Awesome. That's good enough. Let's call it. We got our flash. Tried our best. Zhwani's 5, so we're not scared. Oh, I'm actually surprised you got that much juice off.
Mm.
Not too shabby. No flash Oriana. This guy's really low. It's not the end of the world. So now we're just gonna have to stay on low HP and just try to dodge or poke as we're trying to grab whatever CS we can get. We'll see what we can do. Nice. This will be a good angle. Awesome. She's dead.
Nice. I should recall right now, right?
No, you should push.
Okay. Oh yeah, we have more wave than I thought. Okay.
Yeah. If it freezes, you could recall, but at this point, it is just good to just push out always.
Oh, Galio, don't freeze it. Come on, man.
Oh, if he does, it doesn't matter. You just recall.
Okay.
Grab Sork Boots and Alternator.
Let's see if she. Oh, okay, she didn't. She didn't do tier 2 boots like you would have recommended.
Well,
remember, because
it's not necessary. He probably has free boots. I think. Yeah, I think he has free boots. That's why.
Okay.
But yeah, it gets a bit hard to dodge Zaki, doesn't it, when you don't have the shoes?
Mm-hmm. It's not going too well in the top set, is it?
Well, he's struggling, but that's fine. We don't mind. We can look for a solo kill as well when she hits our tower like this. Yep. If we hit all our spells, so if we hit open with R and then hit tag her with E, we can kill her, so keep that in mind. Obviously, don't have to, like... If she's halfway past the lane already, you don't have to dig for it.
Yeah.
But when she walks up to you and she uses dissonance like that, you can definitely consider looking for it, right?
Okay.
So like right now could be a good angle. You don't have to open with R if you're not confident that you're going to hit the E, but if you manage to hit RE and you combo well,
top, so.
Good chance you'll kill her.
Okay.
Again, buttering her up with Qs first is also good.
Yeah.
Don't need to stress out too much. I can't have sound, but sometimes the actual thing lags behind. It's fine. I can use a third-person point of view anyway, so don't stress out about it.
Okay.
Worst case, we'll just use the replay system. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Damn. Okay. Screwed it.
That's okay. Yeah, so what you can do, since she has no flash, you can also E backwards into your shroud, for example, to go. Okay, I like this. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got in turret range. Yeah.
That's okay. Idea was good. We can work on the execution.
Okay.
So there, I think you just have to be happy with chunking her and then recall. And then just like she's chunked and then just you're both chunked and that's good enough.
Right.
That wasn't an angle. Like sometimes if you go all in like that, you just have to be happy with what you've got. That makes sense?
Right, like not just fully go in, like at that point.
Yeah, you just save your R2 and R2 backwards, and then she's low, you're low, but she's a lot more vulnerable than you are, if that makes sense. So she can actually die to jungle, whereas you can't really die to Sejuani. It's way harder for you to die to Sejuani than it is for her to die. Basically. Zach breathes on her mid lane when she's low and you're low, then she just dies, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if Sejuani comes mid, you can just shroud, buy time, escape, etc.
That was totally one of those Chovy patience moments, and I missed it, but it's okay.
That's okay, I don't mind. It doesn't matter. Nice Q. Mm-hmm. Nice, this will be a good gank. Okay, shroud. Q her again. Like there, you see how you're trying to tunnel vision and picking up the passive?
Oh, I'm picking up the thing, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes just pressing Q a few more times is just better. Tag her with E, maybe.
Yeah, we got it.
Nice one. Awesome. Well played. We're pushing this mid wave, right?
My MF is
I think you can challenge yourself, you know. If MF comes here, we do have R, so with Zach here as well. Look at Zach,
Yeah, see. Oh.
That's okay. We can still win this. E. I respect it. So you kind of want to open with E there in those situations.
Okay.
You want to open with E when someone runs at you in a straight line, and then you can reassess the situation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let's tell our Dorn Shield to get a blasting wand. So there, I want you to walk towards him. Yeah, I wanted you to walk towards him and E, and then if the MF overextends and Zach gets an E, then you can kill her. Okay.
Okay.
But if the MF doesn't overextend, then you can't do much. Or there she's just running at you, right? So you just tag her with the E, and then you're willing to take E2 if something goes well. So here we don't have R. Let's catch this wave real quick. Q it twice, and let's start moving already, right? So you want to get the cannon, but you'd also want to be a part of this fight, ideally. So let's prioritize that first. Well, let's hook here. Let's look. Careful, Orion's right there. That's okay.
Pincher.
Don't walk past her, okay? Just leave. It's okay. You can leave. The job's done. Dragon's gone. Your team's looking. You're just investigating. But be willing to leave here. You do not want to fight this fight, okay? You do not want to die here. Enemy Renekton is here. That means we wait. Patience.
Yeah, Darius just
he just has to take plates, He's getting plates. Very good. Awesome. Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, it's fine. If you're 2v1 here, you're just gonna have to try and wave play the best you can, right? Q. Mm-hmm. You use Shroud and walk up to Q the wave.
That was about Shroud.
It was a fine. Oh, I don't know about this one. You should probably use R2 out here. Yeah, it lost way too much HP. You can't. Like, if Variana R's there, you're dead too, so keep that in
Yeah.
mind. Here, your job is just hold the fort. So you getting his R for your R is actually not bad. But you're gonna have to make sure you just call it a day after that. Make sense?
Yeah. I think
Like,
the only
Eing in there is too much. Grab a
Okay.
Dark Seal, because it's a good item. It's just a
Oh,
nice
it's
item.
true.
It's the money you've got. Let's walk out and catch mid-wave. So I don't
Hmm.
want you to go in at all until you have Proto Belt and level 11, because I want to just drive it home that you can just scale and chill, and we've been PvPing a lot.
Yeah.
So let's just slow it down a bit.
Okay.
Nice. Darius ended up getting a full tower, so even though, we lost
Yeah.
mid, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
They were sharing XP and gold too, so it wasn't too bad. Yep. I'll probably have to use the third person thing, because Discord streaming
Little
is
laggy.
painful. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's probably the server or some shit. I don't know what the fuck. What the hell's up? Because my stream isn't lagging, so I don't know.
Could be me. Um.
I don't know. I don't
getting
think so,
Rift
because
right
I
now.
can hear your voice fine, so I don't know what
Oh,
it's
okay.
about. Rift is good, yeah. Look at top lane right now. Like,
Yeah.
breaking off the Herald and interacting top can be really good here.
Dude, he's doomed. But maybe if I had seen it sooner. Oh.
Just try to take it and run. Nice.
Okay.
Just run. Just run. This is not your
Bye,
fight.
Zach. I'm sorry, man.
If he lives, he lives. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's on bot lane to do something here. Just catch the wave. You can. You can just push it. Galio's all the way up here, so the only place we can trade is the bottom side.
Yeah. They're gonna get tower probably. Oh, hello. Just flanking. Is she
Yeah,
the
we don't
only
want to fight her
one?
right now. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We don't want to fight her. We don't have our, we don't
Okay.
have Proto Belt. So it's chill. Like I said, bot lane's the place to trade here. So let's catch this wave in base.
Okay.
I'm gonna buy Proto Belt and I'm gonna move out on the map and try to get something done.
Oriana's gonna move there.
Yes, she is.
He's
And we're just gonna base and ignore her. We're just gonna go mid actually and push. Just push, just push.
Okay.
She's somewhere else, so the best thing you can do right now is to get some
Push.
pressure and make her lose a wave for what she's doing top.
Okay.
You can't stop her from going top and doing stuff, so the best thing you can do is push mid and try and make
Yeah.
her bleed something for it. It's like really try to use your Q
On the back.
yeah,
Push
so
faster.
you wanna push a little bit faster usually.
Okay.
Basically you want to start getting your energy regenning as soon as you start touching a wave. Let's get Proto
Okay.
Belt and whatever you can afford. If you can get a Amp Tome, you can. If you can't, just whatever. Move out. Alright, nice. Let's move out.
That's still tough.
Mm-hmm.
This is a situation where I just have to catch the mid wave, right?
Yeah,
can't.
either that or the top wave. In this case, mid wave is good. You can even look for a play on mid.
Oof.
No, you can't. There's 4 people here. Be careful for an Nectin stun, of course.
Yeah.
But this could be a good. This could be a throw if Zac moves with ult.
Oh shit. I moved.
Nice try. It's still
Oh.
good. It's still good. Damn. I feel like if Zac moved here instead of doing red and jumped on his head there when he was in aggro, would
Yeah.
have been really good. Oh well.
Oh, they're back.
Just look to
Okay.
follow up on Zac if you can.
Yep. Oh my god.
That's okay. That will happen. Let's go bot. I mean, you can stay here for the Herald, but like
really
you can
pull
hover
that
for a
chair,
second, but
unless-
like don't
okay.
overcommit too much. If there's a good jump, then you can follow up, right?
Okay.
Nice.
I think this is kind of bad though. Maybe. Oh, unless Vayne can work here.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I'm dead.
That's okay.
It's not the worst thing that could happen, especially
Swain's
with
a fucking
Darius being top.
beast.
Yeah, he is.
Wait, what the fuck? That's Swain's support, and he just killed everyone. What a beast.
my plat friend is like playing like spamming Swain, and now he's like Diamond 1 promos to master.
I mean, Swain's really good. I'm just surprised Swain supports this strong.
Mm,
Alright, let's go bot.
okay.
Normally, again, you can walk out Pixel Bush here, and there's nothing wrong with you walking out bot Pixel.
Mhm.
So let's just do that for now, and maybe we can contribute. You can also TP on this Sejuani if it looks good, because Vayne's chasing.
Okay, but she's on this side.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be anything. I'm just saying, looking for TP opportunities is good. So in this case, we're going to go straight bot, because going top Pixel doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Going to either of the pixels doesn't make sense because we're not going to contribute. Obviously, you could have caught mid wave in this case, but
Yeah, it could have.
it is what it is. It's fine. I didn't notice there was a mid wave that was moving. I mean, Darius got a solo kill. I don't know how that happened, but we'll
Let's
take
go, Darius. It's your boy. 1-8. I mean, I'm being horrible, so I'm not flaming him. I'm just.
it. No. Let's see if we can do something as productive as our 1-8 Darius could.
Okay.
We're probably gonna. It's fine to touch this wave. Now it's time to go behind them. Okay, so you're gonna go behind them.
Okay.
Yeah, that way. Perfect. We're gonna try and kill this MF. Okay, so you see that MF? That is
Yep.
your target. Just brought about forward and just kill her. There we go.
Oh, I didn't get it. It's
Good
okay.
enough. Kill this bitch. Very good. Let's kill the first target with Vayne right now. This is the best we can do. Awesome sauce. Nice. That's going to be a Baron.
Yep. So we
Maybe
should
we
just
can
go
kill
straight
Orianna
there.
too. Yeah, we should. So start pinging it. Ping it. Very awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Not too shabby. So you see how there, like, the main reason why pushing bot is good for you in the first place is so you can flank them. That is kind of the idea. So there's
Okay.
two ways to play it. One is to stand behind the pit and start zoning. Start
Okay.
fucking dicking around with Orianna. In this case, you're very weak, so don't do that.
Yeah.
Just try to dodge your damage if you can, and just do all your damage on the Baron as much as you can. So using EE is good too. I mean, she overextended a lot. Let's prot belt her thingy.
Yeah, yeah.
Prot belt her Banshee. Awesome.
Oh, this is too far, right? Oh,
No, it's not. You beat her. It's just
I should have.
no. What you did is perfect. It's exactly what I wanted you to do. Is just tell her to fuck off. Like the reason why you're not fighting him to the death is because you don't win to the death, but you don't need to fight someone to the death to zone them. You know.
Right.
Like, this is good enough. You don't need to go die to anyone else. Here, you just base by your nice little rod of large size.
Rod of large size.
A needlessly large rod. Awesome.
I think it's
and
very
here you can
needed,
look for a
personally.
TP, but
Okay.
yeah, you don't really want to TP into this fight right now.
Yeah.
Kind of just let your team figure it out here. I mean, if the guy just presses R, I think he could have killed Galio, but hey,
Yeah.
he's holding it for next death. That's acceptable.
Classic.
So running to bot pixel here is like I said, you can do it. In this case, running bot is also acceptable. We're gonna look to kill this Renekton here. So if you press tab, you actually can kill him with Swine. So keep that in mind. So we're gonna just press S in the bush here with the sweeper. No, we're okay. Well, we did get spotted. No, this is okay.
Yeah.
This is why I didn't want you to go all the way around, right?
Okay. I said just here.
Because you're kind of hoping for a mistake. Oh, you can fight that with Swain. He's a beast. Go on the Renekton. You can just focus down the Renekton and you'll kill him. Awesome. See how, I mean, yeah, Swain's a beast, so that's why you're willing to fight with him, right? Because you know that he's monster strong.
Yeah.
If Swain isn't so strong, then obviously you don't pick that fight with Renekton, but next time I'd like you to help him a little bit more. So in this case, for example, let's try and help him out.
Just like even then, like not go back to the wave and just like.
Yeah, that could be an option as well. But in this case, I don't mind. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah. I was like very surprised that he got that far with Sedge. I thought she was gone.
I like to believe. So this is
Okay.
you know, a wise thing. Well, not a wise thing necessarily, but a principle me and Hilly worked with was like, if your teammate isn't done yet, you wait until he's done.
Mm-hmm.
You follow him until he's clearly done. You know, if he's not done yet, he's not done yet.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So if he still chases, you can just like hover in between. You know, let him know that you don't want to go. Maybe you ping him once, maybe you ping him twice. Like just let him know I'm not really interested, but you still allow. So you see MF there on the side. This is who you want to aim at. So right now you could have snapped her neck just walking that way. Could have been really bad. Let's just go top here. Let's just go top.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah, and that's the thing about like assassins that like because
No, that's
I
okay.
have
We'll
little
go over it in the
experience.
VOD. We'll go over it in the VOD. That fight looks fucked. I mean, I think we might lose the game here because we just kind of all died.
Yeah.
Not good. Let's base. I mean, the Baron buff.
Maybe an elixir or something.
No, fuck that.
No.
We're just going to buff the wave here. So here, 35, we're going to buff the wave. So you just hold Nexus here. Don't walk up. Do not get Sejuani ulted and die. Don't get flash on Baronectin. Just buff the wave and do what you can to buy time for Zac to be alive. And then when Zac's alive, if they go for Nexus, you can hold the fort. If they don't go for Nexus, just catch the wave, right?
The game is not done. Drag in a minute.
let's catch this wave real quick. So just, like I said, you want to start using Qs on it. Yup. Burn the wave down ASAP. Get your Shadow Flame. And then, like I mentioned, we're gonna be hunting for this misfortune. So
Okay.
we really want to make sure that you find flanks and you just one-shot her, right? So just RE, E2, she's practically dead, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're going to be fishing for this fight. Obviously, going on the Renekton and chunking him is also good. And then Orianna is also good. So these are the three options. So I want you to just find either one of those three and do as much damage as you can to them.
Okay. Oh, there's a ward here. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you're going around the red buff is good. You know, through bot tri-brush, for example. We're trying to find a way to flank here, okay?
Yeah.
So if we're just walking up to Orianna and staring her down, she's just going to poke us as we walk
Yeah.
in. So the idea is we're going to have to loop around, get creative. So here, for example, maybe you join the Swain and Darius instead. You should be mindful of your own vision, so... you see here, you want to go around the back. So you see you're just oinking around. You go through bot try.
Oh,
this
shit.
is going to be your best angle. That's
Okay.
okay, don't worry. You can go over here with E, and
Oh, yeah,
try
I
to
should
flank
have
the MF. That's okay. Proto belt in.
I did not play that perfectly.
No, but you did pretty good.
I still got some kills there. I could have killed the
You fucked
warrior.
I mean, you did kill her. You put her to 1 HP and made her flash out, so you did a pretty good job this fight, I'd say. In terms of actual effectiveness, sure, you can play it better, but you see how effective you were coming from the bottom side?
Yeah.
So even though you could have been there way earlier had you eat over the wall, you see how taking an alternative approach to entering the fight can be much, much more successful than walking through the front and just getting dunked on.
For sure.
So that's very good. And yeah, I'll probably have to use the third person spectator client, so I'm just going to stop recording, because this is kind of useless. I can, like, sometimes only see half of the fight. So I'm just going to use the spectator client.
Okay.
No worries.
Should I go for a Zonius here or what stuff?
Usually you just grab a stopwatch here and you see what's up.
Yeah.
You can also go just grab a blasting one. It's what you feel more comfortable with, really.
I feel
At the end of the day, you probably need void staff to kill people, like to kill people other than thingy, like reliably, but I don't think it's too bad. So here, if there's going to be a fight, you want to TP on the bot wave. You see the bot wave? So go TP on it right now.
Okay.
Yep. This is going to be the angle that's going to allow you to kill a MF the easiest. So you're going to come in from the side here and try to kill a MF. This is really good. You have a plant as well. Let's see it. Okay, well, that's a Galio taunt you just jumped into. Don't forget you have a stopwatch, okay? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we jumped a bit too early because,
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I get it. I told you there's a plant, so you instantly want to take it. Sometimes you have to reassess the situation before you take the plant. A bit unlucky, but honestly, if you had pressed stopwatch, you would have been pretty chill there, I think.
Yeah.
Either way, still, you know, like I said, you came in from a good angle. I think if we didn't get Galio taunted immediately there, we could have done a lot more work. And especially when you're playing against these spawn and click CCs like Renekton, like, try to use your Shroud. You can just sit in your Shroud a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
You don't have to... Don't stress out about bursting people. Just... The longer you sit in the Shroud, the more you're getting into the back of their heads, you know? Like, they're worried about you coming out of Shroud and dealing damage.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
I have to say, this Zach has some interesting ideas.
Dude, he's cracked.
Start Baron into jump over the wall. I did not anticipate that sequence. I mean, he's not playing terribly. It's just, I mean,
Yeah.
the last the dive mid and then this call were just very, very strange, I think.
So what can we do here?
Otherwise, he's been playing pretty good. What can we do
We
here?
stop
We're
them?
gonna look for MF. So you see you have the cone over there. You go up
Oh.
and all the way around. Okay, go all the way around.
All the way around. Like this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna drop a pink over the wall here. Just drop a pink just to get that info. Yep. We're gonna be fishing for MF here, okay? So here you kind of have to press S and decide whether from top side or bottom side is gonna be the easiest way. I mean, you see him right in front of you right there. In fact, he's
Yeah, I
just
think I have
you can
the
just E
range.
him. Yeah, you can just tag him with E. That's okay. We hesitated a bit too much. But we're just gonna give this now. Just give. You notice how you're 1v5? Yeah, let's not take that. Just, you know, it's important that you look at the map and see what people are doing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's press S in here and just look, you know, maybe MF takes a bad path or something. And if anything, we're just going to walk towards bot now.
Yeah.
Just going to try and push out that wave. You're very mobile, so if people start running at you coming into bot, just, you know, make a break for it. Try to get out.
Okay.
But if you can, the more waves you can take here, the better. So you're going to take this wave and then you're going to reassess, right? So you're going to take this wave, whatever's left of it.
Oh,
Yup.
they burned it up. Okay.
Let's just fucking run. This guy we don't
Yeah.
know fuck with.
Yeah. He's he's a real
Yep.
deal. This
Let's
Renekton,
hover in
you
the
know.
mid. Let's hover in the mid, mid, mid,
Okay.
mid, mid. The reason why we're hovering in the mid is because Renekton is showing bot. That means you have number advantage on mid. So picking a fight right now is really good mid. So pinging on my way is really good. You know, like on my way we have 5 people mid. Letting them know looking for this is good. Yeah, it's really good that you're pressing S. We're just chilling in fog. And right now we'll probably have to go bot. So what we're going to do is ping bot. Just kill this Renekton instead. Drop your sweeper. Let's pop that.
Okay.
Okay, let's just jump over the wall here. You want to do some acting? Because yeah, you just take this. The reason why you want to do some acting is because if you just run at the guy straight to pick a fight, then, well, I mean, sure. We can fight here, slowly. Yeah, just to see if there's an opportunity, okay? You have to wait for CC to get used so you can jump in afterwards. Okay. Not too shabby. Let's go towards the Zonias. Nice. Let me think. No, it's pretty good. I think we got a lot of good work, a lot of good data. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. We'll have plenty to work on for next game.
Sounds good. Okay, that's all that
I mean,
I
it's still
care
winnable,
about.
by the way. They're kind of
Yeah,
fucking
it is.
running it, by the way. Can win, can win. Let's see what you got. You see the MF? I want you to kill her, okay?
Okay.
Nice. Easier than I thought.
Yeah. She's probably gone.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of a challenge, okay? I want you to, when you jump into a fight, I really want you to press W and just be patient.
And be patient in it, and not like
Yeah,
reveal
like,
myself immediately.
reassess the situation. Yeah, same with R2. You know, you don't just because you have it up doesn't mean just because you have the power doesn't mean you need to use it. You know, sometimes the best way to use the wield power is to wait for the right moment.
Yeah.
You don't always have to just flaunt it. Patience can be king. You're 16 now, so it's gonna be a big deal. Let's grab this next bot wave.
Okay.
We don't need to be a dragon. No homies can do the dragon, right?
Yeah. We don't do
we
much.
will move the dragon after this wave because there's no reason to be anywhere else than the dragon. So we're just gonna blow up this wave. Very good. Alright, let's base. Or let's back off. We don't want to overstay right now because people are coming to cancel our bases, multiple people. Let's help our team here. So here you can potentially stay, look for a player yourself. You can hide in the bushes here. You see the bushes? Bot,
Like
lane
these
bush,
bush?
lane
Yeah,
bush,
yeah.
lane bush. Yes, this is
Oh,
lane bush.
yeah,
You
this is
you
it,
see this
this is
MF?
it.
Completely
This
brain
is it.
off. Let's go kill her. Run in a straight line. Yeah, you could just run in a straight line to kill her. I mean, yeah, okay.
So
We're gonna have to
fast.
work on that.
Okay.
No, that wasn't the issue. The pathing you took was obviously not the right one. It's fine. Let's just try to live. Yeah. I'll explain it to you. Why going to the alcove is never good there. Okay, it's just never the right play. Don't worry about it. Let's keep the focus on what we agreed on. We are going to play the next fight patiently.
Okay.
And sometimes that means going in fast, but waiting in the shroud. You know.
Yeah.
This is a good fight. Let's TP. Look for a TP anywhere.
Okay.
Ping your guy. Ping your guy. You need to TP. Oh yeah, that's fine. We'll take it. Good enough. Oh fuck. It's fine. Kill that bitch. Alright. Okay, you see that MF? Kill her. That's fine. It's good. It's good. Right here. Boom. Yo. Patience. Good. Auto Q. R. There you go. Would you look at that?
Alright,
let's not die to Sejuani, shall we? This bot wave. Let's go grab it.
Yeah.
No way to progress the game right now.
Base.
Feel free.
Get this.
Let's grab ourselves a little Zonias and then we'll go into... Actually, let's just one-shot the Void Staff. Fuck it. Just grab a Void Staff. You have a stopwatch still.
I agree, because I still have stopwatch, and I haven't used
Yeah, exactly. That's
bit.
okay. There'll be another chance. You see how you took your time to do your combo there? That's what I want to see more of, okay? Take your time. Make sure you deal damage. Don't just, whiff all your spells and shit. You can do that in a team fight too, unless you're playing against champs that reveal you in stealth, right? Because half of this game that I've been able to watch at least, you've been panicking so much in the middle of a fight when you could just be sitting in your shroud and just sit in your shroud, reassess, wait what's going on. They're waiting for you too. They're not going to just walk past your shroud. Trust me, it's one of the biggest strengths of your champion. MF can't ignore your shroud. If she does, what you just did to her, you'll keep doing. You'll just eviscerate her. At this point with Void Staff, you'll also eviscerate Orianna, right? So keep that in mind. So a little blue pot will be nice. Let's grab a recall here, get the full HP. Okay. Why not? Grab a blue pot and then let's walk out. You know, let's grab the bot wave and then walk out top pixel, right?
Okay.
So we're gonna grab the bot wave because otherwise there's gonna be nexus pressure right now. So we don't want to. We want to limit that as much as possible. That said, do be ready to move to the Baron here and just send it. You know, be careful of showing on this bot wave. You know, your Zack's in base. Maybe you want to delay showing on the bot wave, so you press S. Let's just start
Oh, I
moving
should
towards the
already
Baron
showed.
here. We
Okay,
kind of have
okay.
to.
Yeah, yeah. I think they
We
already
just
just
have
have
to.
it.
Okay, but we can still move and look for a fight on the midwave,
Okay.
right? So, you know, let's just hover. Let's see what they do. In this case, if they go top, let's just go back bot. Right now,
Okay.
you just go back bot. There's no fight mid. You're never going to make it all the way to top unless
Yeah.
Darius buys in, you know, an extreme amount of time. Looks like he's just dead as fuck, so we just have to
Yeah.
push out the wave. There's no other choice. He got caught. Nice. Awesome. And now we can group. So let's go group top. We need to go defend.
I don't have
They
shot
kinda
for a bit.
choked. It's okay, it's okay. Let's kill Renekton here on the side if we can. Okay, never mind. Doesn't matter.
I like it. Oh no.
Let's try.
Okay.
Alright.
Stuff there. Okay.
No worries,
GG.
no worries.
Played.
I got everything I needed, trust me. Next game will go a lot smoother.
Alright.
Trust me on that one.
Alright.
So, again, yeah, this game's over. Alright, don't feel bad about it. We're going to find the solution for it
Yeah.
in the review. So this is going to be
Definitely
a pretty
things
lengthy
to be done.
review, so if you want to grab yourself some water or something, feel free.
Okay.
If you're all set,
I'm
let
gonna-
me know.
What am I gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna grab this applesauce. Boom.
Applesauce? You drink
It's like a
applesauce?
brain function. Well, I just like I wasn't able to eat before this because you know I'm just
Okay,
a busy guy, Bwipo. You know I got people to see, I got things to do.
that's
Well,
fine. I don't mind.
I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just making sure, you know, if you want to grab something to drink or eat, I want to make sure you can focus up because this is going to be a lengthy process. All right,
Okay.
so
I'm
I
ready.
like the way you played your level 1 and 2. Level 1 and 2 made a lot, like level 1 especially, you know, you got a lot of chip damage, basically barely took any, which is really good. So I'm really happy that you played your level 2 the way you played level 2 and what. Sorry, level 1 to 2, then you got level 2, skilled E, got Oriana's Flash, and that's great, right? So this was good, you know, you fished, you got the free Q, and then you backed off, very good. Alright. Catch whatever we can under the tower. Like I already mentioned, E's just W's safer to CS underneath the tower because you can just stay in stealth and then last hit and then go in stealth and then last hit. You know the whole process. So one thing here, when your opponent base DPs and you're still in good conditions, you can obviously still interact with them. You don't even need in this point. You can actually just lane for like another 3 or 4 minutes before you will need to base if you just play really passively and farm well, right? So if you focus on farming, so keep in mind, please use your Q to farm. You're playing Akali, like right there, I want you to Q that creep. I really want you to focus on farming. Really focus on that. Get every single CS you can. Getting to Alternator on your first base is a huge spike, okay? There you're fishing for a Q on her. I don't want you to fish for Qs on her unless she walks up and auto-attacks you. Then you can fish for Qs on her, right? Just poking you with Q and W right now is not enough damage. She needs to start squeezing in auto-attacks. Same thing here, right? Like here, just Q those creeps right now. Like fish for Qs through the creep wave, the last hit, don't aim at her. Aim to push the wave in here, right? So right now, use your Shroud. Yeah, great. You see how you're CSing here? Well, obviously you miss a lot of CS, which can be improved. That's okay. I don't mind that you're missing CS, but I want you to have that idea because there, you were looking for Qs way too much.
Okay.
Dark Seal can be better than Boots in these cases.
Oh, this is where we were like trying to figure out those.
Oh, that's why. Makes sense.
So
Yeah, that's why you step back. No,
troll.
makes sense. You can blame that on me. All good. So here, you know, same thing. You keep the wave in the middle. You keep focusing on CSing. She doesn't have flash for a while. We're about to hit 6. Looking for an all-in can be good. I'm gonna go through your all-ins when they come, and I'm gonna tell you what you need to be looking out for when you're fighting them. So here's the first all-in, the 2v2 we have, and this 2v2 is absolutely winning for us if we know how to play Akali well. Now, there's 2 things that you need to be mindful of when you're playing in this fight, right? First thing, Shockwave. Second thing, Sejuani stacks, right? Because she's level 4, we don't want to get stacked up to 4 stacks and then stunned by her E, correct?
Correct.
So you're going to have to either use your E1 to dodge the Shockwave, use your R1 to dodge the Shockwave, or your Flash, or your R2, or even your E2. So you have a lot of options to dodge a Shockwave, but we both agree getting hit by a Shockwave when we have all of these dashes is illegal.
Illegal, yes.
You're an Oriana player yourself. If you manage to hit a Shockwave on a champ like Akali, that is because they are messing up, and this is why we lose this 2v2. So the next thing is, when you now that your R is point and click, what ends up happening is that you will dash through the target with your R, right? So in this case, when Sejuani goes on you, what you can do, first thing is your E has a hitbox inside of you. So you throw it out from like here inside of your character. You don't actually throw it out in front of you. Because you backflip and the shuriken comes out of your character as you're backflipping. So if you backflip right now towards this direction, like either here, like basically you E in this direction, right? So you cast the E towards her here. You'll backflip here, right? you will tag her with it, right? Same thing here. You can backflip actually towards, you can cast your E towards Orianna, towards Sejuani like this, and it will tag her because the shuriken will throw out from like here.
Yeah.
So the idea is, the reason why this fight is really winning is because you can pretty much get all your damage off on Sejuani without her being able to touch you.
Okay.
Because you can just E backflip here, her ball is here, she can move it, what, up until like here, max range?
Right.
So you can be already doing E here, right? You E1, you come back in with the passive, auto Q, shroud, and then start kiting up here, right? Then E2, back in. You get the idea?
Yes, I do.
Then E2Q, R1. And then you're in a position where you've done pretty much all your damage to Sejuani. She's 1 HP. You have R2 coming up. You can flash the shockwave and then finish someone off if you want. That's one alternative. The other one is to R1 right now through her, either this way or this way. Both are fine with the same idea. Is if you R1 immediately right now, you can react to the shockwave. Make sense?
Yes.
Because she just moved the ball in dissonance, right?
Right.
So the only way she can hit you is if she does command shockwave. So here, opening with E can also be very, very good. So here, we are backwards, which is fine. We E, which is fine. But you notice how you didn't respect this other thing that you need to be afraid of, which is the stacks from Sejuani. You're fully stacked. You can't take the C anymore. You have to leave. It feels bad at use drill, but you have to leave. You got fully stacked. You didn't meet one of the two conditions you need to meet in order to win this fight, which is why you lose.
Okay.
Because either you get hit by the shockwave or you get fully stacked by Sejuani. You need to define that before you enter a fight. Obviously, you know, you mess up your combo, you kind of just panic as you go to 1 HP. I'm not going to go over this one because there's many more that I can go over that will be more fruitful, so I'm just going to ignore that one for now. Freezing the wave is always good, same idea, like dragging Orianna to your side of the lane is good. You're a champion with many dashes, you're looking for this all in. Very good. Here, Zac goes for a gank, you open with R1, tag her with E, do as much damage as you can. Very good. The only thing I would say is try to prioritize the auto Q a little bit faster if you can.
Okay.
Because you kind of delayed it here, and I think your passive dropped off. Oh, you hit a creep, that's why your passive dropped.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, that's okay. It doesn't matter in this case. It happens sometimes. So we got Shockwave and Chunk. That's okay. They're both really low too. And here it's like the initial idea is this, right? Is like if she's at 60, 70% with no flash and you're below 50, it's fine. There's way more pressure on her because you're so hard to gank compared to how easy she is to gank, right?
Yeah.
You can shroud into E, and you just never use any of your tools proactively. See how here you're very patient with E2ing in until like the CC hits? This is why it's so free to go for this gank, right?
Yeah.
And here, almost always try to push out the wave when this happens. In this case, obviously there's a TP and he's gonna freeze, but it doesn't matter. You get a better base because you get a kill plus full CS. Awesome. So here you're fishing for an all-in. Keep in mind, now is when she can poke you down, like basically with just pressing Q and W, she can actually poke you. She doesn't need to basic attack anymore. So fishing for all-ins is okay, but you're going to have to start getting creative, right? So you're going to have to either create space using your W or your E backwards. So what you can do is just shroud here, E into your shroud, right? And then just hit her with Q and E backwards, right? So it's very simple. It's a 1Q thing. It doesn't work that well. When it works really well is if you manage to tag her with Q, right? So you get the passive proc. So you Q, pick up your passive proc, then shroud, E backwards into your shroud, flip into her, and then you tag her with the auto attack. Make sense? Auto Q.
Yeah.
So these are the options you have to open space. Both of them include E-ing backwards, okay? So it's very aggressive, but it is an option that you can use to create, you know, to close the gap. The reason why you would do it that order is just that, you know, basically use Shroud to escape. So either you E backwards to use Shroud to escape, or you tag your E in your own Shroud in order to create space. Same thing here, right? When she's close to this, like this, you can consider backflipping into her, right? Same thing here. If you backflip into her right now, right, you're going to end up here, you're going to tag her with Q, and then pop Shroud, and you're probably going to hit her with auto Q, and then you can just leave.
Yeah.
And the only way she can feel comfortable to like the only way that she can punish you is if she knows where Zac is. So in this case, it maybe is a bad idea, and you should be more patient because Zac shows. But if Zac doesn't show, if she tries to chase you down the lane to punish you for using Shroud like that, you know, non-zero chance that Zac jumps on her head and ends her at Nexus. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So just getting creative with using your E to create space and your W. Like, you can even preemptively use W as someone's walking up to you. So like right now, when she's walking up like this, you can pop your Shroud.
Yeah.
Boom. Pop Shroud, walk in like this, and reassess the situation, right? You don't have to wait until your Shroud is, like, during combat to use your Shroud. Same with your E. Get a bit creative, because just running at Orianna isn't going to work. Same with Victory. Just running at him isn't going to work. Unless the guy's fucking silver, right? If he's terrible at the game, then maybe he'll just die. But we do end up actually hitting the Orianna here, and basically, like I mentioned, here you find the R, you tag her with E2. E2, auto Q, good. Shroud comes down, good. Auto Q, and reassess the situation, right? We both know that you need one more auto Q to kill her, right?
Yeah.
Minimum. We need one more auto Q minimum. Assuming that, like, maybe she dies then, right? So here, auto Q, W, auto Q, great, and then you should reassess the situation. There, if you want to go for the full combo to try and kill her, which you tried to, it wouldn't work because she's too tanky,
Yeah.
right? So in this case, she has a Mar. We can't actually one-shot her like that. It's nice that you tried, because now we can see it. But my point is here, if you just leave in your Shroud, you stay in your Shroud and you just leave, you could even RQ away. And again, her being at this 50% health threshold and you being at 25 to 30% is more beneficial for you because it's very scary for her. As soon as that goes in fog, there's going to be pressure on her that a potential death mid is going to occur.
Yeah.
Something is going to happen that's not in her favor. The only way to bail herself out from the situation is to kill you. Because she can't flash forward to surprise you, right? She can't flash kill you. She can't do anything. The only reason you would die is if you're kind of just rolling. Right?
Which
So
I
if
was
one
there.
ganks you with ult, then obviously that is a bit scary. Yeah, like there. But you had her in checkmate, or you're about to have her in checkmate, right? So this 2v2, you see how it's really, really winning is because your champion's way better in combat, right?
Yeah.
So we ended up smashing them and actually to a point where we killed both of them, which is fantastic. Now, obviously, you getting this kill would have been juicy. But same thing here. Like, we can look to fight her here. You just have to wait for Zach's jump. So here, Zach jumped. He's getting fisted. You're creating some space for him, some breathing room. And then here, you just tag her with E, you know? You just tag her with E. Marked. You notice how mark of E is 4 seconds. Now Zach is around the corner, starts channeling E, hits him with E. As he's jumping, you jump in, take E2. And then you unleash on her, and maybe she dies, maybe she doesn't. Now, I did kind of bait you because I wanted to just get you into the mindset of how to play your champ. Was this a good fight? Absolutely not. Never take it again. Thank you. I just wanted to show you what you champion. Like, I wanted to... Basically, when people run into you, when you can tag them with E, you can one-shot them. That is, like, the number one thing your champ can do. Now, you're probably too weak to do it, but hey. Here, you're on defense. This guy is in an open lane. They're sharing gold. So the only thing you need to do is just pop Shroud here. Again, preemptively. Use it early. You don't need to save your Shroud for during combat. Just pop Shroud, walk around in the Shroud, Q the creeps. Good enough. You just want to clear this wave.
Yeah.
Q it twice. Q, wave is gone. What are they doing? 2 times nothing. They're jobless. Literally. They don't know what they're doing anymore. You literally canceled them. Like, they're confused. Going on the Renekton is also acceptable. However, much more risky, right?
Yeah.
So here you're definitely overcommitting on the Renekton because he popped R, his 50 Fury, you don't have Shroud anymore. If you E into him, he will stun you, and even if you E into him with Shroud, he will stun you into a shockwave and you will get fucked. Whereas you could just be happy getting his ult and chunking him. You took 40% of his HP and you got his ult, just R2 over the wall here and leave. It's fine.
Yeah.
This is the best you can do. He's playing 1v0 right now. You are playing 2 versus 2 right now, right? Just leave. This guy is monster fed. You don't need to take a risk here to win the game. We get put to 1, so we now lose our mid turret and a bunch of HP. Same idea here, right? Like, you could have been just being really annoying with Shroud and trying to clear this wave as much as you could.
Yeah.
You're on defense, so try to do that. Anyway, that's okay. Very good.
I think
now the laning phase is over, so we're going to try and influence the game, right? So again, we're going to be looking to move to the pixels. Now, this game we were really far behind, so it was hard to group with our team, and we're looking for farm more. But this is why you're going through the space, right? Because you want to influence the game. You want to be here. If there's a fight, you want to be ready for it. So we're doing the Herald, which is great. In this case, you know, just try to hit the eye, like in this particular case. Here, if we hovered a bit earlier, maybe we could have done something. Probably not, though. Our Darius is weak. But here, like, if you hit the eye one more time, like right now, boom, you canceled your auto there, kind of. So
I canceled my auto. I didn't even realize that I did that.
That's okay. It doesn't matter. We end up losing our member because of that, or maybe not because of that. Maybe he's dead anyway. But the point is, we lose a member. That's fine. Happens. Moving the bot. Very good. Just catching waves. Again, we're just trying to get to our proto belt, basically, right? So we've been really chilling because we haven't been able to get to our item. Now we have our item. We're level 11. So we're going to be proactively looking for a fight. So here it's good. You know, one thing is, like, you're using E a lot and very early. Try to save it to throw it from your Shroud. So one of the biggest strengths Akali has is when you Q this guy, right? You Q, you pop Shroud, and you start running at him with your passive. You're in melee range, aren't you? You are, because you auto attack him, right? So what you do is you Q, you pop Shroud, and you walk towards him with so you Q, pop Shroud, pick up your passive. I'm going to draw it for you. You Q him, right? Q.
Right.
Then you walk backwards to pick up your passive. You get movement speed from your passive. You pop W, you get movement speed from your W. and then you're going to run at him and you're going to choose what you're going to want to do, right?
Right.
This pattern is better than Q max range into E max range. Because if you do this pattern where you do the shroud thing and walk melee range, it's much easier to tag someone in melee range with E than it is max range. Right?
Yes.
Right. So, let's try and do that right now, right? Pick up the passive. W, walk at him, see what he does, right?
Yeah.
If you do the max range E, it's okay, right? I just want to give you the alternative option. Sometimes it's best to just throw max range E and just, I don't want anything to do with you. But if you're actively looking to try and chunk someone and fight someone, it's going to be better that you actually walk up to them in your shroud. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Nice. Miss, sometimes it's going to happen. You're gonna R1 into E1 and miss. Sucks. That's all I can really tell you. Sucks. Yeah. So here I think, let me investigate, right? So here you need to determine which side of the fight you're going to participate in and what you're going to do. So here you join, Oriana's dead immediately, we're reassessing the fight during the MF ult. Then here you need to pick a side of the fight to fight with. So in this case I would say probably pick the side with Vayne and fight with Vayne. Now obviously it's a bit scary to, fight with the Vayne that went melee range. But maybe if you were a little bit more assertive there, you could have done more work. And then additionally, coming out of the Shroud here, if you think you're going to die, maybe just using the Shroud to walk around in the Shroud. I'll show you what you can do with the Shroud, right? So remember the whole, Sphere of Influence bullshit I was talking about?
Yes.
Well, it's not bullshit, but the point is the Shroud works the same way. The longer you go missing in the Shroud, you can be anywhere in the Shroud. So the point is, here, for example, you start walking here, but if you're reassessing the situation, you're like, oh, fuck, I'm kind of dead. Maybe you just walk over here and kill the Akali instead. Because now what you're going to do is, right, you go in stealth again, great, but you run in a straight line out of the Shroud, right? When in reality, you could have pressed S here, reassess the situation. Maybe you could E over this wall, actually, right? If you E towards this is the most distance you could create, right? Maybe next time, running up this way will be better. Maybe actually running all the way down here, right, and trying to make it over this wall is the best play.
Yeah.
Maybe next time, walking over here in your Shroud and killing this bitch is the best play. The point is you have a lot of options coming in from your Shroud, and you're limiting your options because you're not giving yourself enough time during your Shroud duration.
Right, okay.
You use your Shroud, and you stay in it for a second. You know how long it lasts? 5. Okay, you use your Shroud for a second of invulnerability when you... Oh, sorry, invulnerability. A second of invisibility when you can definitely last longer. So here, same thing, right? The mindset of coming in for the flank. Here, obviously, drop the bot, can bot wave and just walk past, and just walk around. It's time to go participate in the game. Now, if you are more precise here, obviously you really start pushing this wave right now. Q. You know what I mean? Like, start queuing the cannon. Like, just kill these 3 creeps and worry about these later. Just make sure these are dead. These are the most valuable creeps. 21, 21, 21, and how much for the cannon? Like what?
56?
Like 90 something?
Well, at this point, probably, I guess, but...
It's 90 something, yeah. Right? So the point is, how much is a range creep? 17. Don't care about them as much.
Okay.
They're not worth as much. Alright, let's look at the execution.
I
hold on the wall. I don't mind. Yeah, that's fine. It's okay. It doesn't matter. You try to get in range. That's all I give a shit about. Right? Shroud. We'll do an R2, whatever. Would have been nice to get a kill here, but it's fine. Our Beast of Swine got it. I mean, honestly, this guy's a monster. What the fuck? Which, by the way, I'm going to need you to press tab a hell of a lot more.
Okay.
Because the fact that I don't know how strong that guy is because you're not giving me the information. And that is a problem.
Okay.
So here, like I said, if you knew this guy was a fucking beast, because not only did you see him absolutely fuck over here, and he was just fisting people, you should know you can, like, I told you, right? Like, if he fucked people over here, he's gonna fuck people here too,
Yeah.
So, we can play the game with him. You're playing as if you're a ranged champion, brother. Like, hello? Where are you going? This guy has no ease? Like, what are we afraid of? Like,
playing Ziggs right now. I'm throwing Qs at them.
Legit. You could be playing here, like, move towards him. Help him out. You can, again, use the Shroud here. Create this space for Swine to play in. Right? You pop a Shroud here, all of a sudden, this entire area, you could be anywhere in that area. Right? Anyway, another thing is how much MR they have. You don't know because you're not pressing tab, so you don't know who you should focus right now. For all I fucking know, based on their health bar, right? 3.5k health, 2.3. I might be thinking I should focus this guy. Next time, I'm gonna fucking press tab and realize this guy has a fucking Warmogs and a Heartsteel and 0 other magic resistant sources, and this guy has a fucking Maw of Mortius. But I don't know because I'm not pressing tab, so how can I know who to focus in this fight unless I press tab? You cannot. That's why you must press tab.
Okay.
And then obviously that's why you're hesitating in this fight, because Renekton's been fed this entire time, so you're hesitating to fight him. But in reality, right now a fight with Swain is very much in our favor.
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because Swain's really good in this situation. Now, obviously, I think if they actually just sent it on the Swain and just bursted him, that would have been hell of a lot better. But the point is, like, you know, we could have maybe squeezed out more here. Maybe we can, you know, block her Q and then she dies too. Who knows, really? That said, you absolutely do get one shot, so make sure you don't get bursted. Swain can tank it much better, so keep that in mind. Here, we're looking for the flank. There's no angle. We're just going to leave. One small thing I will add is... So here, when she crossed, that could have been an angle for you to snap her neck. I'm just going to slow-mo this. Right, so you're waiting for this angle, right? So this is the here, right here, when she crosses here, tagging her with E2 can be really interesting. So you can move it a little bit more like this, and basically make it harder for her to cross this space. Are you going to go in this case? No, because if you tag her with E1, you're going to E2 into their whole team. That's not a good idea. But keep that in mind. Sometimes you can assassinate people that take bad paths.
Yeah.
Right? I want you to look out for people taking bad paths. These are the people that you want to snap.
Yeah.
Snap, one shot. Boom.
Boom.
You know, Thanos snap them. Very good. You know, our team wants to just go mid and die, even though we ping them to go back and Zac griefed, so it's fine. We end up holding the Nexus. Good enough. We'll take it. Grab a Shadow Flame. Again, same thing here. Just focus down the ranged, the melees and the cannons. The range creeps are good too. But just, you know, some urgency when we push the wave, right?
Yeah. Okay.
We want to be out on the map. So here, like I mentioned, really, really important that you look for a flank, right? So you're on vision right now, and this is very likely to be warded because there's been action around this area the entire time, which is why you doing this right now can be really good pressure, right? So if there's a ward here, maybe if you E over this wall, that could be really good. Maybe, you know, like the point is, like here, you could E over this wall, right? You can go all the way around. You can do many, many things, but the point is you want to find an alternative way to enter the fight.
Yeah.
Because if you go from up front, Galio channels his taunt, and you die. Okay?
Right.
Some champions like Galio make it impossible to go from the front, right? So one thing that Akali is very good at is actually initiating fights from the front, forward, into the enemy team, because she R1, flips into the whole team, pops her shroud, and then does her whole thing where she patiently waits for the right moment. However, Galio stops you from doing that. Yeah. So you have to be creative. So here, for example, another way to be creative is to just E over this wall, right? E over this wall, you know, just press S a bit here, just wait a bit, wait a bit, wait a bit. RE's back up and we walk around. You get the idea, right? So, I mean, just reassess the situation. We go all the way around. You know, we're obviously 10 seconds late to the fight because we just went sightseeing. That's alright, because we're going to do a hell of a lot of work. We're going to flash R in. E1 to dodge, really good. Stun, auto, really good. And here, see how you patiently waited for you waited. You didn't just R2 over the wall here and potentially put yourself in a bad spot. You waited a little bit. Now, you didn't even wait long enough. Why? Because you R2 to close the distance when you could have just walked up to her and smacked her across the face.
Right.
With auto Q and then R2 and just one-shot her. She wouldn't even be able to hit you. Shroud's good. Right now in the Shroud, right? We're in the Shroud. We pick up the passive, which we revealed ourselves, which is a small mistake, but it's okay. But the point is, right now, you can just walk around like this. Auto Q, R2. Boom. One shot. Literally one shot and we're out. Both at the same time, right? Here's tuk. Auto Q, R2. Boom. Insta snipe or boom or whatever fucking direction you want to go. But either way, you could have absolutely assassinated her and lived and gotten Orianna flash and put her to 1 HP. This would have been a masterfully played fight had you done that. But instead, we get ulted by MF and we put ourselves in a position where now I don't have R2 to escape, right? So, small thing, right? Another thing here is like probably, you know, using the upwards here could have been good too.
Yeah.
You know, it's a small thing here. Because we use backwards, we backflip into a wall. So it's kind of hard for us to play the game here. Upwards could have been good, dodge the Galio E, whatever. Either way, small thing. I think that this is minimal. But you trying to escape here would have actually been very, very reliable, I feel like.
Okay.
Had you had R2 to arc through to the MF towards mid, right? That would have been much, much better. Either way, that was a great fight. That was exactly what your champ's supposed to do. You came into the flank, took Orianna's HP, took her flash, and you fucking murdered the thing. Again, we come in here with the flank. Again, I told you there's a cone, so that looks great. You can just press S on the cone and see what the situation is for a bit. You know, you don't have to just immediately take it. Right? So the fight occurs, the Zac jump comes in, and you jumped into it, like, willingly, you know? Like, my body is ready. My body is ready, you know? Like, okay. Just because there is a cone, that doesn't mean you have to take it too. You can walk around too, you know? Just saying. You can also take the cone towards here, right? So keep in mind, sometimes taking the cone towards here and then looking to flank over this wall is even better as well.
Sounds like a KDA player move, Bwipo. Alright, so...
That's not a KDA player move at all. That is an Akali play. I'm just making sure. I'm just letting you know, okay? Like, it's really important that you're patient, because your job is to Your job isn't to start the fight. Your job's to kill those motherfuckers. And if you take your sweet ass time to kill those motherfuckers, you take your sweet ass time. You got me?
Okay, I
You
got
feel
you.
me? You know,
Yes.
like, at the end of the fight, like, if you're alive and they're dead, that's decent, okay? Sometimes your team needs to be patient and wait for you to find the angle. It's not all about, they initiate a fight, you just jump in and follow. This is why assassins are harder to play.
Yeah.
Because you're not an Orianna or a Victor, right? Same thing here, right? I want you to take the cone, and I want to go around, and I want you to go around here, and then you press S in this area, Either press S where you are right now, or you press S over the wall here, and you just reassess the situation, if I jump in and kill MF right now, is that a good thing? I don't know. One thing I will say is if you weren't snoozing, because you were kind of just sleeping in the bush here, and you tagged her with E1 when you saw her, which you saw her a while ago, no offense, but there was some serious snoozing going on.
No, yeah, none taken ever. Yeah.
Wait, can I show our vision here? Oh, this is our vision? I think this is our vision. Yeah, it's fantastic. I do believe it is. Like here, like you tag her with E2 right now, you E2... You tag her with E1, you E2, auto Q, R1 over the top, over her head, shroud, and then you're like right here, probably, have one shot her. You're over here somewhere in shroud with R2, and then you just fucking dip.
Yeah.
Could have been an option. Again, you want to just like not try to kill her, that's fine too. All I'm saying is you could have looked for it. I don't mind. That's not a biggie. For me, that's not a biggie. Your team kind of just through. Happens. Here, we're going to go through mid to look for this angle. Here, we're going to looking for the Renekton. We do a little bit of acting because just running in a straight line into him is probably a bad play. So I like that you're patient here. I like that you're waiting. Looking for an R1 angle here. R1 angle, prepos R2. But we're kind of just fist fighting the Renekton, and he is just absolutely fisting us. So here, for example, good angle, just R2 backwards, right? Because this is not going to be winning.
Yeah.
Right? So here you could do the thing where I told you. You can E2 into R2 this way, backwards, right? Just away from her. From the Renekton, or even up here. You could R2 up here, so you could E2 and then R2 up here. Be R2 in the middle of the enemy team, which means you're fully committed with no tools. You have no fucking juice. No gas in the tank. No E, no R. You're not killing shit, my man. And that's fine. We're learning. But you're going to need some of your core spells in order to kill people. Enemy team griefs. We come in, we collect. Very lovely stuff. Little R1 action here. Open with R1, I like it. Here.
I should have hit Sedge, but...
No, you should have just not used your spell at all.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Just, again, a little bit of patience sometimes, Like, R1 right now. Boom. R1. Good. Right now, we can just start running at this Akali. We can just run at this Orianna with our Shroud and just fucking hit her, can't we?
Yeah,
Or at least, like, pressure her, look for it. We don't need to do anything. Oh, let's rewatch one more time. Like here, right now, if you pop your Shroud like towards her with the movement speed you got from R1ing over, and then walk towards them here, right now, you're Bing chilling. So much pressure on this backline to play the game. They can't. You still have R2 waiting for them. You still have E waiting. You're waiting for the best or better situation. You're getting in meta range before you use your E. That's what matters, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll grab bot waves. Very good, very great. We actually end up being pretty rich here, which is awesome. You actually end up in a situation where you get enough money to get void stuff in one buy. So here, my lord, my man. You haven't trapped anyone? You watch Fnatic and you don't trap in bushes? Shameful.
Shameful, I
like
know.
this, So here, just trap and sit in the edge of the bush. Why is sitting in the edge of this bush way better than whatever you did in the alcove? Do you want to know why? I'm going to tell you why. Where is she going to run?
Gonna run that way.
1,
or
2,
that way.
or 3.
Or forward.
Where would she ever go here? This is what you're trying to stop her from doing when you go to the alcove, Like, where are you going? You're cutting off nothing. She never is going here.
Yeah, I think.
So if you go to the alcove, you're making it harder to go on her if she goes forward, because you're in the alcove way in Zimbabwe. Let me actually, like, you're over here in Zimbabwe, right? So if she goes forward, she'll actually see you and then keep running forward if she wants to, or even turn around and go up, and you won't catch her because she's fast as fuck. She'll go this way, fast as fuck, and if she leaves, right? If she leaves, she leaves. But if she goes this way, you can just sit at the tip of the bush, proto bolt into her head, E backwards, R1, snap her neck.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So,
I thought I could,
this is why. Trap.
avoid vision.
Same thing situation here, right? Same situation in general. You remember when I told you about Chovy? You remember Chovy sitting in this bush right here as red side, just masturbating when he should have gone mid, right? Get that habit. Start jerking off in bushes. This is what you're an assassin. Sometimes people get bored and they forget about you existing, and then you kill them for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, get in the habit. Go in the bush and just wait right here, wait right here, wait in here, like anywhere, you know, be creative. One of these 3 bushes, you know, and you're looking for people in the lane. You're not looking for people in the alcove. There's nothing going on here. You see on my screen, there's a fucking, what is this?
There's a dragon flying around. Oh, that's a...
There's not a fucking dragon. That's what?
well,
I don't know. It's a moose or an elk? I can't
person.
tell. Looks like a moose to me.
Moose.
This is what you're looking at. This is what you're looking for, okay? This is where your screen is, okay? When you're in the alcove, what the fuck is this? You can't see shit. Okay, when we're in the bush, right, this is what you're seeing. Unironically, you're seeing a bunch of rocks and jack shit. You're in here. Oh, we're looking at the lane. Oh, we're looking at the lane. Much, much nicer.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yes, we actually see what's going on. We can kill people. Alcove is good to surprise people. Alright, we TP in. Yup, kill this guy. Very good. We were very patient. Very nice. Now, just the next step is speed it up, right? So now that we've learned to be patient, next thing is to speed it up, right? Tag Akali with E instead of her. A bit unlucky. Very good. We go in the shroud. Nice. No, we chill. We chill. We chill. I mean, we're not going to save that guy anyway. Pick up our passive. Awesome. Right. Auto. Q. R. Beautiful. You know, a little bit faster on the R would have been nice than the R2, but hey, it's okay. We'll work on that. Yeah. We'll go too fast, we might miss the Q damage, and then that would be also embarrassing. So, grab the Void Staff now, and this is the thing, right? Every item you get, you should be able to unlock killing someone new. Not necessarily new, or... Not necessarily new, but sometimes, okay? Let's put it this way. You should double check. Let me say this. You should double check. Now that I have Void, can I kill someone else? Is there a better target? So right now, MF's your number 1 target. Has been the entire game because Orianna has MR. Now that you've unlocked Void Staff, maybe Ori becomes a target. So you can actually put a target on her head. And number 3, Renekton may become a target. Okay?
Okay.
So usually you're going to keep it simple, okay? Usually you want to look at whoever deals the most damage and see if you can kill them. If the answer is yes, kill them. If the answer is no, look for the next highest damage member. Alternatively, if you cannot reach those members because they're actively playing around you, right? In the game, you notice, like, man, this Orianna has not been on my screen the entire game. She's avoiding me. Kill someone that's not avoiding you.
Yeah.
You don't have to dive through, 20 champions in order to kill someone. That's not the point. So, I'm just going to finish up the review here because there's, like, I think one more fight. So you can hop in queue already if you like and start doing the champ select stuff. Here, as you're entering a fight and you notice the fight's very losing because one of your teammates is dead and the rest of your team is dying, just see who you can pick off as a straggler, just look for the stragglers instead of looking at the group, instead of your camera being at the group here, look at whoever's going to be over here, whoever's going to be up here, like look for these guys that are split up from their team. You're an assassin, you're not a control mage, you're not looking at the group, you're looking at the one guy. So here, for example, it should be an automatic to go and try and find this Renekton.
Yeah.
Much, much easier to do. Right? So here, your instinct, literally your instinct is to stand here and you're just pressing S in front of the whole enemy team whilst there's a Akali ult on your screen, like the fuck, What's Akali supposed to do? 2 times nothing. Whereas here, if you go and help contribute with Swine, fight on this side, maybe you R1 their Renekton here, you finish him off without using R2, random tower shot hits Orianna. Oh shit, I can flash E her, or I can R2 into, whatever. Like, maybe that opens up an opportunity to start killing people, you know what I mean? Like here, you actually get hit by the fucking ult, and then look how much shit you're eating, When in reality, if you were fighting on the Renekton side here, Renekton is eating shit, she starts tanking the... So you see how she literally started tanking the tower, like I said? This is the type of stuff that happens in these chaotic fights, I didn't even realize she took a tower shot, but my point is, if you were here playing here and then looking from the side, you could shroud maybe up here. You get the idea, right? I'm not saying that it will or won't, but the point is if you're in front of the tank, everyone and their mother's cameras are right here looking at you, right? Whereas if you're on the side here, fighting on this side, boom, and you're hugging this wall, you're being sneaky. If they're looking here, maybe they don't notice that you're coming from this side.
Yeah.
Right? They actually have to actively look at what you're doing and where you are. And I can tell you right now, I've played pro games where fucking people are snoozing at the wheel and forget I exist. It's nice. It's quite nice. Same thing here, by the way. Completely zero patience, my man. Pop the shroud and wait a second. Look at the Z usage. R1, auto. What's the stress? Oh, you don't have shroud. Maybe you're stressed because you don't have shroud. Maybe that's it. Because you use it to farm. Sure. Okay. I'll allow it. If you had shroud, I wouldn't allow it. Just for clarity purposes. And another thing, you're not a hacker, okay? If you need shroud to go in, don't go in until you have it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
What I want you to focus on are these 2 things, okay? Number 1. Tab. Gather information before you fight. Enemy mid laner TPs into the lane, check what he has in his bank. What did he spend? What did he buy? Okay? Anytime you walk out of base, press tab and look. Information. Download it. Understand what you're going to do. How can you know who you can kill? Like, there's nothing stopping MF from rushing Maul Mortis, She can do that. It's illegal. Like, it's not illegal. It's legal. She can buy Maw of Mortis. This game, you wouldn't have known if she had a Maw until you tried to kill her. How can you play the game like that? You cannot. Right? Tab. Information. I need it. You know, if I can't tell what's happening in the game, it's because you're not pressing tab enough.
Right.
Good. Next thing. Farm. Use Q to farm. When people come to basic attack you, Q them. If they're not, just farm every single CS you can. Did you see what Chovy was doing? Did you see him run at the Talon and try to Q him the way you were running at this Orianna trying to Q her?
No. I mean,
would you agree with me? Chovy's a better player than you?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. He's a better player than me too. I do this too. I'm a little donkey that runs at people and loses a Akali Q on them, assuming that they're going to make mistakes. We're both little donkeys. Try not to be little donkeys. Okay. Let's be better than little donkeys. Let's be good players. Let us wait for mistakes to happen. We are a reactive champion early game. We react to our opponents making mistakes. Okay. This is what I mean by farm. Capiche?
Yes.
Fantastic. And then number 3, we're still going to be focused on going to the pixel and looking for plays. Now, what I mean by this is we are going to move to the pixel to look for a fight. Now, I'm going to open up the little minimap here and I'm going to show you what the options are. Rift Kit. Okay? So I want you to focus on these. Very simple, okay? I want you to track champion strength in the game and I want you to focus on farming. And then once you've done that, you've successfully farmed. Let's aim for 70 CS, okay? 70 CS at 10 minutes. This is what I want to see in your game. Okay?
Okay. 70 CS.
We're going to move to the pixel bush, okay? This is where we're going to end up, okay? Now you're an assassin, so if you go this way, E over the wall here, fine by me. You go this way, walk all the way around, fine by me. You want to do this, you know, you can E into this bush maybe, fine by me. Point is, we want to look to be able to contribute to the game by going towards these areas, and we want to end up looking for fights here or here with our team. So we're either going to join a fight, or if we know that there's a dragon or a neutral objective, I want you to have the habit of looking to be able to flank, okay?
Okay.
Right? Sometimes this is going to be enough. Sometimes you're going to have to do this, right? E over the wall here and then go all the way around. Sometimes you're going to have to push bot wave out and then go around. Sometimes like this. Usually like this is pretty bad because they're going to spot you guaranteed if the tier 2 is up. So usually the best paths are like this, right? So you're here, you went to pixel, you go around like this, you go around over the wall like this, right? E over this wall, for example, or even walk all the way around can be a possibility too. End up here, really good flank angle, right? You notice how like the best cannons and Akalis end up in this bush a lot? There's a reason. It's a very good bush to be in for dragon fights. Both sides. Both sides. You can be red or blue side, and this bush can be very good depending on where your team is positioned, right? Same with this bush. These two bushes are really good because the idea is if a team is contesting and you guys are doing Drake, then they have to walk through this choke and then you can just snap some necks, right?
Yeah.
Like this. Same idea here. You can go like this. Akali can also go like this around. You can also go over the wall here. You have many, many angles you can take when you enter one of these two bushes. So these are really good bushes to be in. How aggressive you can play, up to you. But, you know, keep that in mind. You notice how here, for example, in the fight, if you fight here, then being in this bush is kind of meh. You remember that?
Yes.
You were oinking here, and then you had to go all the way around in order to find a good angle, right?
Right.
Do you think if you went from this way and went forward, that would have been a good fight, or as good of a fight? You remember when you killed the Orianna NMF?
I do remember.
Oh, you didn't kill Orianna, but you took her flash and you chunked her really bad, and then you finished off MF.
But if I had gone just straight to...
If you had taken this arrow, this path, and Galio channels taunt, your Nexus explodes on the spot.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do. No counterplay. Very, very depressing.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, just so you know, I had to dodge. I don't know how I've gotten top twice in a row. Like, it's very unlucky.
It's fine. I don't mind. Don't worry.
But,
I don't mind. It is all good. I'm bing chilling.
Just loading backup league. Trying to anyway. Riot likes to, like, if I close out, it's like, I need a break. You know? Just give me a little bit before it loads back up. Valorant's the same.
I recommend playing like 3 to 4 sessions. Oh, so sorry, 3 to 4 games per session. That's what I recommend. I recommend if you're playing a lot of League, like, you were talking about playing a lot, right? And you need a break?
Oh, not me. Like the client, the spaghetti client. It's like if I log out, but if I try to like get back in, like it's like that's what happened there because I had to dodge, right? And then I tried to go back in, and it's like, I don't think so.
No, I know. I can relate to that. Never mind. I thought you were talking about something else. Anyway, a good piece of advice I do have for you is you probably want to focus on playing like 2 to 3 games.
Okay.
Sorry, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 is like 3 to 4 would be the maximum per session, and then you take like an hour or 2 hour break, and then you continue grinding more 3 to 4 games if you can. Obviously, If you don't want to do that because of time constraints for yourself, then you can do whatever works for you. But just sharing that with you.
For
That's what
sure.
works for me.
I think
Yep.
often I get like bogged down in like the whole like, okay, I lost, I'm not gonna play again because like, but I don't really tilt
Mm-hmm.
that often, so I don't know. It's probably not beneficial for me since like if you're tilted, then obviously you probably don't want to play.
Right.
But
Yeah, sure. Just again, it's my opinion. It's what works for me. Even when
hmm
you're winning a game, and you win 3 or 4 in a row. Usually things don't go your way, so
yeah, for
mentally
sure.
that's going to tax you, and you might not notice, but you start getting a little bit triggered. Anyway,
Right.
since we're waiting in queue anyway, I'm going to go to my Discord channel and read some of the questions, if you don't mind. Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Please go ahead.
Someone asked me how to make 300 USD so I can buy coaching. There's like I think at least a million ways to make money in real life. It's kind of broken.
It's pretty cracked. Yeah,
Yeah, making money is OP.
it
Would you say
is.
Master Yi is a good solo queue to carry yourself out of bronze? I end up 1v9 with him almost all the time, but I find it boring to play him on repeat. Well, you answered your own question, you know? If you win games playing a champion, just play the champion. And if you don't want to play it, then don't play it. But at the end of the day, it's gonna win. How should you convert laning advantage as a ranged top laner to have the most impact on the game? Group with your team. That's usually it. Either have your team come to you or you go to your team. There's no in between. You need to be playing together with your team. There's no other options. Consider making a channel point for redeem for a discount on coaching. I don't think I'll do this because I think it's unfair to the people that got the coaching before. And yeah, I just don't want. I don't want like, the coaching is something that's supposed to be very exclusive for the people that want to pay for it. I don't want to put myself in a position where it's a focus of what I do. I enjoy doing it. I'm passionate about it, but that passion will burn out quickly if I do it a bunch and like for everyone, and I start making like exceptions to do it more. If anything, like I'm happy with the rate at which I'm coaching, which is like on average, I think I have like I think I have one person a day on average right now, which I'm very happy with. Um, that's plenty for me.
Especially if you start playing again. Like you probably
Yeah, which
wouldn't
is the
even be
goal
able
in
to.
the end, right? It is the goal in the end.
But it's the goal for me too. I really want to see you back, and
I appreciate
preferably
that. Thank you.
LEC. Even though I'm an NA, like I just watch a lot of
I
LEC. But
appreciate that.
yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm looking into it. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Will I be
Okay.
playing in Champions Queue? I won't be. I'm going to be staying in an A. There's no talks for me to boot camp, and at this point, I think it's a bit too late to go fly into London or EU in general to go boot camp. So that's not going to happen for now. Um, yeah, I'm chilling over here right now. For high economy laners that scale hard like Gale and GP, do you have a rule of thumb when it's okay for these champs to rotate to plays versus staying to farm? No, I don't have a rule of thumb because I consider myself at a very high standard. So when I'm in the game, I feel like I need to judge for myself when it is correct to group and when it is not. So I don't have a rule of thumb. That said, a rule of thumb I give everyone else that I coach to make it easier is if there's a wave underneath your tower, go and catch it. And if there is not, group with your team first and then go and catch waves. So go through mid and then catch waves. That's my advice for people that are trying to figure out how to play the map. If there is a wave underneath your tower, right, go and catch it. And if there is not, do it like this. Simple as that. Same goes for you, okay, on Akali? Same goes for you. If there's a
Mm-hmm.
wave underneath your tower, you can go straight and catch it. If there is not, go to the pixel bush, through to bot, or top. If you cannot go to the pixel bush, go to the raptors bush and catch it like this. Also fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Depends on how much space you can take without dying. Do not just get ganked and die. Avoid it. How can I learn how to roam better with support? Basically, yeah, support. This is one of the reasons why, like in the past, I said I didn't want to coach support. I'm fine with doing it now because I have 3 hours in a session to teach you. But at the end of the day, support. What does support do? Support's trying to get the most gold for AD, the most gold for jungle, the most gold for mid, and the most gold for top. Right? So you basically weigh wherever I go, where are we going to get the most plus gold, right? That's a 6, not a G. Plus gold, and where we're going to lose the least gold, right? So this is what you want to focus on. So you want to help your AD. So let's put it this way. Let's say I roam top lane and I get plus 500 gold on Camille, and I get minus 500 gold on Jinx. Is that worth it? I'm going to let you decide. Okay? But the point is, as support, the idea is maybe if I don't go top and top just stays at +0, but we get plus 0 gold, maybe +0 is better than plus 500 minus 500. This is the idea of support. This is what you need to be weighing when you roam. When I roam as support, how much do I lose in bot lane and how much do I gain somewhere else? So the best time to roam as a support is when you make a quick roam, when the wave is coming back to your AD carry, and then you make it in time back to bot lane to catch the wave and make sure you can protect him from getting dove. Obviously, your AD is an independent person that might run it down because they're bored when the wave is bouncing, and you roam mid, get a kill mid, and then he dies. But I'd say still that is considered to be good because you gank mid, and if this guy is relatively human, he won't run it down and die. But hey, this is the logic of roaming on support. Just weigh that. Viego's good. How do you manage the early game? I farm a lot. I full clear on Viego almost exclusively. I almost always try to do 4 camps minimum, so I would do 3 camps same side, plus either wolves or raptors, right? So I'll do, for example, golem, or so the red into golems into raptors into wolves and then make an action, or I will do 3 bot side camps into raptors and then make an action. This is how I try to maintain a high CS per minute, plus resetting my camps regularly. This is what I do on Viego in order to do both. Is it only low that early install such a big problem? He's just a win condition scaling champion, right? So yeah, in low elo he's going to be better than higher elos. Let me double check that for you though, because I'm guessing that if I check this, a Aurelian Soul, the higher I go, the lower his win rate will be. But I could be wrong. Oh, looks like he wins just fine everywhere. So looks like A-Soul's just a pretty decent champion altogether. If I were lazy, if I weren't too lazy, maybe I can actually look here. Silver, gold, bronze. No, actually, it turns out he just kind of has a very similar win rate at all points. Master Plus, Diamond 2 Plus, like, I mean, apparently in Diamond 2 Plus he struggles the most, but yeah, he seems to be around 52 at pretty much all ranks, you know, with some fluctuation, but nope, looks like he's just a good champion. How do you get good at your main role? Trying to go pro on a hit challenger 2 months ago, but I got my ass kicked by players like MNS Jojo, NSL mid laners, and eventually got booted out of Chell. I mean, it's time to dig deep, you know? Like, why are you losing? I don't know without being able to check your VODs, but some of the number 1 reasons why you're losing, I'm going to list them for you, okay? Number 1, your trades suck. Work on your trades. Watch Chovy, how he's trading. Like I said, right? Like, are you walking into the Orianna with Akali, and then you've been just shitting on people in low elo? Like, low elo being, like, master tier? If you've been shitting on master shitters because you run into Orianna, dodge your Q, and then shit on her, that's not winning for you. You're running at her. She's supposed to be able to hit you for free and then leave. She outranges you, right? If you run into a pro, like if you're doing what you were doing against me, right, where you're walking up to the Orianna, I'd send you home with minus 300 health every time, because the angle at which you're starting the fight is really bad, right? So, how do you open? Like, react or start / proactivity, proactive. Start proactive, like, determine what role are you playing in the matchup, am I proactive? Am I reactive? Do I start the fight? Do I wait until he starts the fight? Determining how this is done is by checking VODs of the better players. Another thing is, runes, draft, etc. A lot of times I play against players that are challenger and they're not very good because already from champ select I can tell that they, first of all, for example, they picked a bad champion against me, or even if they picked a good champion against me, the runes they're running aren't optimal, so I can punish them very easily. These are the main 2 reasons, really. Like, they don't know whether they're supposed to start the trade or if I'm supposed to start the trade. Like, if they're supposed to react to me or the other way around, so they don't know this. And then they also don't have an optimal setup, which means that because they don't know if they're supposed to start or react, in the situations where they react, they get fucked. Like, the situations where they proactively try to hit me when they're supposed to react, they got fucked even harder because they don't have the right runes. Or, in the situations where I'm supposed to start the trade, and I start the trade, I'll hit them way harder, or it'll be harder for them to trade back because they don't have the proper runes.
I'm in game, just
Awesome.
Just started. And funnily enough, I'm facing my one trick. I'm facing against Ziggs in the mid lane. Kind of crazy.
Alright, well, let me see how you leverage that knowledge.
I know. That should be the thumbnail, though. It's like Ziggs one trick tries to play assassin.
Akali?
Akali or whatever.
Fine, let's see. Let's focus on this, okay? I really want you to get that CS, okay? If
Okay.
Ziggs walks up to you and plays like a donkey, do punish him, but
Yeah.
please be patient.
Okay.
Let him come to you. And if he doesn't come to you and he's max range his spells, well, at the end of the day, your feet are going to have to be good.
Yeah.
You will have to dodge the skill shots, unfortunately.
Yes. I found most of the time with Ziggs, if you just don't stand in the wave, then it's pretty easy to
Sure.
dodge. But a lot of people stand in the wave. That's the only way I really hit people. It's not trying to push.
Well,
You
let's
have the hack
see.
stack too.
How many times? Let's see how many times I catch you standing in the way.
Yeah, true.
Eating bombs.
I know now that I've said that.
I'm gonna record this POV in case
Okay.
Discord decides to cooperate.
Yep.
Very nice. There you go. That's fine, because you took a CS. I don't mind. If you're CSing and then getting hit, that's one thing.
I don't get it. I should have
It's okay. Nice dodge.
thanks.
So you're still healthy enough right now that you can take a bit more poke to
Okay.
CS creeps. Once he starts hitting level 2 and 3 is when you're going to be a little bit safer. So you missed the spell, so you can look to go on him with Shroud when he's level 1 to 2, right? If
Yeah.
he misses a spell again, you can look for it again, right?
Okay. Yep.
He hit a spell, so we back off. We got punished, right? It's okay. We wait for the Dorn's regen. This is fine. I don't mind. Use your Shroud to CS as well. Like right now, if you need your Shroud, you can just Q it, right?
Yeah.
You can just Q the CS. Okay, we missed it. That's fine. But use your Shroud last hit, just like that. It's okay. You get hit, he can't auto-attack you afterwards, you see? Because you're in the Shroud.
Yeah.
Very good. Now we're going to use Q, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like mentally, you want to prepare yourself, you know? Like, oh, I'm going to Q this cannon now, or I'm going to E this cannon, or I'm going to use W to CS it.
Yep.
Think ahead of time how problem solve, you know? Problem solving, how to CS the creeps, etc. It can be very good.
No way.
We got it. That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
And we're chilling. It's okay. We're a bit behind in CS, but that's fine. This is normal. Honestly, I don't know what's up with the Ziggs, but they shot so much damage early game. It's kind of disturbing. I've gotten
It's
absolutely fisted by some Ziggs players, like just one-shotting me with their stupid-ass damage. It's crazy, actually.
It's wild. It's a good champ.
I was playing in some electrocute Ziggs with like, he started Q into W, and he was just Wing me, and he just fisted me. It was crazy.
Yeah, I always get W second. I've never seen electrocute though. Maybe
electrocute Ziggs, and he just QW autoed me, and I just got sent to Zimbabwe. It was crazy.
It's wild. I love that. I'll try it maybe. Oh. He's emoting at me a lot.
That's fine. I don't give a shit.
This is too far.
Yeah, you're fishing for nothing. The guy didn't Q you. The guy didn't auto you. There's nothing there.
Yep.
You pulled out the rod, but you haven't, you know, attached any bait to it. Just no reason to go. Use your Shroud when you're CSing underneath the tower to get more Qs as well, okay? So you can collect more CS this way. Wait for Echo, let him initiate, and then we'll go. Awesome. Perfect.
Okay.
Nice. Insta-flash. Perfect. He has no flash, and now this is where I'm expecting you after this reset. So here, you can just chill, right? You don't need to push the wave. There's no stress. Nothing's going on. Walk up right now mid. Drop a ward in the middle of the lane, okay?
Gotcha.
Yeah. More towards this side. Perfect. Why? This gives info, right? You'll be able to gather information more quickly. Okay, the other thing, drag your minions down to the chickens, always. If you can.
Okay.
Never up here.
Okay.
I'll show you that. I'll show you why in the VOD.
Okay.
Very good. And we just chill. Like, there's no stress right now. Very good. Tab already once. I like that. Again, we see him right now. Tab again. Let's see it. What does he got? Double Amato. No MR. That means we can look for an all-in at level 6.
Alright.
Right? We're gonna wait with our all-in to spend our money. Right? But we're fishing to poke him. Like, right there, he auto-do, you know? Could have fished for a Q there. Alright, let's base. Let's just base.
Okay.
Let's just base. Yeah, base TP.
Okay.
Probably should have got the CS there, but it's fine. Let's just grab the alternator here. I like grabbing alternator first because it gives you a bit of HP, a bit of all-in power, a bit of everything. You can also go Sork Boots if you like that, but this works for me because it shifts your adaptive force as well, which is nice.
Yeah.
So here we're just gonna catch the wave. Solid stuff. I believe 2 Qs kills the range creeps, so you could just Q through the wave like this now. Q twice, yeah. Actually, you need more. Oh no, it is. It's fine. It doesn't matter. And press S. Let him come to you. You know. Wait, just wait. Patience, you know. He's bot. Fast push. Q the wave. Q twice. Go. Q. W. Q. Very nice. Okay, the wave leveled up. It's fine. All good. Alright, let's hover into bot. Hover into bot. See the pixel push bot? Yeah, that's fine. Pixel push bot. Let's ward in there.
Ward in this.
Yeah, that bot pixel. Yeah, he's going to try and walk past you with no flash. And I don't like that. You see what he's doing? I can kill him. Yeah, you can kill him in front of his jungler, you know? Go to the pixel bush and investigate, you know? Make him sweat a little bit, you know? Start queuing him. Dick around. They're doing the Drake. The Drake is helping you. Oh, yeah. We don't have to R in here. Yeah, just dick around a bit, you know? Investigate. Make them escort him or make him lose shit mid. Okay, so here, if the whole team comes, look how much pressure you're drawing just by existing right now. You're breathing on them. Fantastic stuff.
Okay.
Alright, we're gonna kill this guy before he recalls. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay, we're using Q.
Yeah, in a bad way.
We're a bit dizzy. Yep. Yeah, not good. Alright, now I want you to walk up to him and fish for these Qs. Why? Because you're trying to kill him now. Okay? It's So obviously we're going to react to him when he hits us back, okay? So we're going to wait for that. When he CS's, for example, we're going to hit him. So you see how when the minions start getting low is when you're going to want to walk up to him? Very good. See how I detagged him because the minions started getting low? And now I want you to look for this R, okay? I want you to look to open with R. R, just snap his neck. Okay, we missed. That's fine. Shroud. We keep going. We keep going. We're not done yet. That's good enough. That's all we've got. Not bad. We tried.
Yep.
So there, for example, you notice that you're not going to get the RE, so you just R and then just shroud into Qs, you know? Simple stuff. When you ease back up, we're going to fish for it.
That E was a bit hopeful.
Alright, see how he wants to CS? Now we walk up. Ooh.
I have to mute his
It's
emos,
okay.
or else I'm going to...
No, that's fine. Let's fast push the wave.
Okay.
Fast push. Cue the back line. Yeah. So there, if you want to flash on him like that, you can also just flash and then Q him and just, you know, dance on his face, you know? You don't have to, you can try and get in melee range first. Okay, we got the ward, that's good. Let's pop this potion. Just want one of them. Might as well. Push this next wave in. Yeah. And like start queuing these creeps in the front already. Okay. Like, yeah, I like that. Perfect. Right? And now we're going to try and hit the range creeps too, right? Okay. So now, like, the next two Qs, I want to hit the range creeps too. Q, W, Q. Perfect. It's fine. I'll allow it. And we base. Blasting Wand.
Okay.
And again, we're going to press tab to check what he's buying. We're going to know how strong he is based on what he's buying. We're already doing better in the CS department. Of course, we could have been 70 already, but we're going to make 70 at 10, which was the goal, so I don't mind.
Okay. Okay, you got it. Just like last chapter. Okay. And boots.
Yeah, so we know now, right? We're aware of that. There's no surprises. So let's start pinging our team that he's moving, right? Missing, missing, missing. Awesome, thank you. Cat. Shongoose.
Cat inting again. Is Echo looking here? Or is he just...
funky.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Yeah, he is looking. Let's follow up, right? Let's see
I know.
what we can do.
6 is
NT.
like pretty far.
That's fine. You tried.
His name is AP Economic. Oh!
AP Economics is setting you up for something. There was potential there, I feel like, if we were a bit more, if we were paying attention to AP Economics.
Okay. Yeah, I did not
expect
like,
if you were aware of him, yeah, Ziggs ulted and he reacted well, you know, like, it was good. Let's investigate here on this guy, right? Like, walk up to him, he's trying to CS, right? So walk up to him when he CS's like that. We got slept, let's shroud.
Should have shrouded.
That's fine. It's okay.
Oh, they can shroud because of Lilia.
It's a nice try. You were pretty fucked there either way. Yeah, you need to dodge the sleep. I mean, there, if you shroud immediately after the sleep, I mean, it doesn't really matter all too much. The reason why shrouding there is good is because they're going to focus you on the spot that you sleep, and then from there, maybe you can R1 earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally there, you just need to R1 immediately as soon as you get slept. You can't E, you just have to tank, you have to shroud on the spot when where you get CC'd, and then you just have to, in the shroud, decide how you're going to R1 into E1 and leave. So which direction you're going to go. But it's not the end of the world. This will be a good Merc Treads game, most likely, okay. So this will actually not be a thingy game.
Yeah.
Not too shabby, though. I'm going to push out this mid wave. ASAP, you see Lilia? She's kind of dicking around. Yeah, it's good to react. This doesn't look like anything. Alright, let's grab this wave in his face. So you walk up and start CSing. You don't need to let it crash underneath the tower. You can kill the wave in 2 Qs, remember? Right? So let's do that. We need to speed up the process of catching these waves now. Because the faster we do the waves, the faster we go in fog, which means we have more pressure on the map.
Okay.
Right now, you haven't shown, right? You want to pink here, good, you're clearing it. This is all stuff you can do faster, the faster you push mid. So right now, again, same thing mid, right? Let's go up mid. Always try to do the mid wave first, okay? Always. Very good. So here we're just going to push the wave. Again, in 10 seconds next wave, we can look to start fighting him. But again, fighting him right now when he has the Andres, I mean, that looks... You know, like that, when you hit him, when you tag him with a Q like that, you can always look to shroud and move forward, right?
Oh, okay.
If you tag him with Q and you shroud forward, you have a bunch of movement speed increases, right?
Yeah.
That's the idea. Yep. Auto Q. We miss the E and we back off. That's fine. Nice dodge. Looks kind of interesting. So there you can chase him and hold your R2 much longer, right?
Okay.
Because you have like 7 seconds left.
Okay.
Like you have 7 seconds left. You gotta wait until your E's back up and then look to E him. You know.
Yeah.
Let's just cue the wave. Let's just cue the wave. You're dropping CS for no reason. You're scared of something that isn't a threat.
Okay.
And you can't really participate. Neither can Zig, so you're both just happy. You're gonna base here because you're too low to join the fight.
Yeah.
So either you can stay and catch the next wave, or you base. It's up to you. So here you can push the next wave as he's base TPing, and you can just yoink it. But the intent here is that when he base TPs, you try to run, right?
Okay. Oh, he's not gone. Oh God.
Good. Shroud. Yeah, no, just walk past her. Walk. Oh, well, you could also look to kill him. Don't flash.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Well, I already flashed, but
Yeah. He has flash there and W, you're never going to kill him.
okay.
There, you just run up and just make more time, you know, buy time. Sork shoes, fuck it. Let's just go Sorks. Fuck the mercs. Like, we're not going to be useful this game if we don't build raw damage. Yeah, it's really hard, these champions, and they're very unforgiving compared to control mages,
Yeah.
right? I did tell you this, right? So,
You did.
this is the thing. I can't really help you with, like, I can't help you much with, other than, yeah, you just have to hit your skills better.
Yeah.
Like, the windows that you're looking for, like I said, like, the windows that you're looking for, you can improve for sure, right? TP mid.
Okay.
And let's backwards in R1 on this guy's forehead, right? Like, just run at him with Shroud if you need to. Like, Shroud, E1, run at him if you can. Okay, not gonna work. It's fine. But yeah, basically, when he tries to auto, like, one thing is, like I said, like, try to be more patient when he hits you early game, so that you can queue him.
Okay.
But for now, I think the best thing you can do is just, he has no flash, and try to follow up on your jungler when that happens, right? So let's just push this mid wave.
Oh, Blitzcrank is on Echo here.
That's fine. We're just gonna push this mid wave. Ignore him for now.
Okay.
Make sure you don't die to him though. Don't die to Blitz.
Yep.
Just that is not a winning fight because we press tab and we realize we are weak as fuck compared to these guys.
Yep.
When Arkan gets here, it could be interesting. Okay,
Yep.
so let's hover right now. Right now, we can collapse on them, right? So now they might be overcommitting, or they can also be coming. So this could be interesting.
I want to go on Lilia.
Nice, I like that. We're on top of her, so we E. Alright, just spam R. Let's get out. So you notice how there, like, you want to E first instead of R1 because you're on top of her. If you're on top of her, it's much easier to hit. You use the skill shot. Your R is point and click, right?
Yeah.
Try to prioritize using E when you're on top of people.
Okay. Just go bot here. Oh no, my team really doesn't want to play. That sucks. But
Well, it's a hard game, and we'll try to see what we can do. Let's catch this wave. Again, same thing here. Like, we need to wait until she hits us. Like, she's tumbling backwards, that's fine. But again, we can't hit her with Q unless she hits, right? So when she hits the tower, for example, we can hit her with Q. Okay, we cleared the wave, that's fine too. Back up, wait for Echo.
Yeah.
Nice. Drop a pink in this bush. Nice.
Oh no.
That looks doomed. Well, let's take it. Take D2. Oh, NT. Maybe if we W forward a bit earlier, we could. Man, that seems kind of tough. W. Alright, we're just gonna have this. We're fucked. Just clear the wave if you can in time. Tower's gone. E on the thingy. Not much to do there. I don't think you can kill her even if you hit full combo.
Yeah.
Alright, nice. Dark Seal.
Oh yeah.
I like grabbing it when in these spots when I don't have Proto Belt.
Yeah.
If we can manage to get some kills, that's really good.
I need to mute everybody. Everybody's just flaming each other.
I recommend playing without chat. Like, I haven't had chat since they have the option to mute it, and I've never regretted that decision. I feel like chat is the most useless thing in League of Legends.
Yeah.
If people want to communicate, they will ping. That's
Yeah.
just that's just how it works. I never use chat, and I recommend anyone that says that you need chat in order to communicate in League is just low elo, and I don't mind. You know, you can have that opinion, but you don't know how to climb. Nice. That looks like a potential kill.
Yep.
Zayas coming from top side. Very nice. So let's push out these waves, try to get our Proto Belt, and then we're going to connect through it with our team through mid after pushing the next wave, right? So here it's basically how many waves can I push before I'm in threat of dying.
Yeah.
So you could actually get ganked on this next wave already, but
Yeah.
I'd say there's a possibility that you won't and you'll be fine. So I'd just say push it as fast as you can. Do what you can. In space.
Okay. Oh, base push.
Sometimes the best way to, I mean, you don't have to base in this case. So this will be a case where you just sit in the bushes and do nothing.
Yeah.
So this is where you'll sweep here. You'll clear the ward. This is fine. You'll just go to the bot. You'll just go to the bot right now.
Okay.
You'll just go to the bot, sit in the bushes, try to get XP, do what you can. If there's a fight in river, you can collapse from bottom side and flank like we talked. You know. And here you're just gonna press S on this pink and do nothing. Because if you show, you're gonna die. So you're gonna wait here until they show somewhere else, and then you're gonna fast push. You're gonna be reactive with your TP, so you are willing to react with TP. But this is the best thing you can do on the map. It's either base and buy nothing, or it's just take XP. So in this case, when they go to mid to defend, we're gonna walk out bot. Okay. We can also look to kill this guy bot, right? So we can look for an angle. Let's press tab. All right.
He's pretty strong.
Gather the info. He's very strong, so we might need echo. So we're gonna ping on my way, right? Ping, help, assist. You know. Right, let's go on him. R1. Right. Nice, tag him with E. Auto Q E. R2 out.
Oh,
a little bit slow on the R2. That's okay, we're a little bit slow on the R2 there, but he's still going to die, so it's not the end of the world. Obviously, Shen is a bit of a cock block for us, so kind of sucks. But we got our proto belt, and we also applied pressure on the map, which means now there's an angle for us to make a play mid because we made this play, because now there's 3 people showing. There's also the possibility for iReady to take top tier 2, so this is all what you've enabled because you played the game bot lane, okay? So it doesn't look like... This is the thing about the game, right? So because Shen had to leave, top is open, and again, we could have just lived mid if we just didn't send it, but I don't know what the fuck we were smoking. Like, we could have just ran out top side like the rest of the team is, and Zai would have just lived. Also, if we executed a little bit better, I do think Vayne dies there every time. But the point is like, that's why sometimes, you know, it doesn't feel good to go in and die, but at this point, you created more gold for your team than the enemy team got, which is pretty decent. So this is going to be a game where, you know, you can either go Banshee's Veil. Banshee's Veil is actually pretty good this game, as a way to get some magic resistance against the Lilia and the Ziggs.
Yeah.
So you can opt into that instead of Zhonya's.
So as a second or third, I don't know, because...
Second. Again, if you want to go still Shadow Flame, you can, but I don't like it as much this game because Shen can always kind of cock block you.
Yeah.
They're on Baron. Let's start pinging that Baron. They're definitely doing it, and if you don't ping it, your team is not gonna check. I guess I don't know what they're doing. Either way, you're gonna react. You'll TP in if your team moves there to check, and if your team doesn't, well, then they get Baron because I'm pretty sure they're doing it right now, and it's about to die, and I don't know why no one's checking it. Nice, let's TP anywhere. Let's see what we can do. Show me what you've got. Look for Vayne and Ziggs.
She can see me.
Yeah.
Because she killed me.
It's all good. Alright, let's try.
Oh, what have I got?
This game looks
Absolutely
pretty
nothing. That's what I have. Holy moly.
That's okay, man. It's not easy. Yeah, not much to do, really.
I know. This sucks.
I mean, yeah, it was really obvious they were doing Baron by the way the Ziggs was moving and stuff, and if your team doesn't want to go check it, then not much you can do if you're bot lane with TP, right? It's hard for you to go there yourself. In general, if people don't want to contest the Baron, then it is their Baron. That's life, my man. Unfortunately, your team is a little bit tilted.
I'm trying not to regret not just playing Ziggs. I'm trying to like see the value in...
I don't mind. Again, like, there's going to be value in this if you're going to play a lot of Akali. I will say, if you don't spend the next 20, 30 games to play Akali, it will kind of be useless.
Yeah.
So if you want to play Akali, all the things I'm telling you will help you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's on you after this, right? Because I'm going to give you, after this game as well, I'm going to review the VOD, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to improve on the champ, and then obviously improve on your mechanics. But there's definitely stuff you can improve on. Yeah, we're never killing Lilia, so give up on that. Alright, we can go on that. We can look for E on that. So that usually when someone CCs, now it's probably the window's gone. Oh, it happens, it's fine. So one thing I will say is, like, usually when someone gets CC'd in front of you like that, what you can look to do is just tag them with E. So like, you can reassess the situation with the mark on them, and then if you want to take the E2 in or not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like there's so many options, and I have no idea which one to take based on, like...
That's why you should just pick one and learn it.
Okay.
And you should just stick to it. And you'll learn as you're learning that one option when it's the right thing and when it's the wrong thing to do. But you should really just learn one combo, practice it really well in practice tool, and just keep repeating it. So for example, you know, That can be E backwards, portal belt forward, R1, and whatever, right? Like basically just it can be the most basic combo in the world. Like it doesn't matter, but the point is you just have to spam it and spam it and spam it until you get better. That can be R1 into E1. That can be, you know, like literally just RE, like, and just spam it until you get good at using it. That can be fine. But yeah, you're gonna want to just learn how to do one combo and really spam it. Let's try and get as much farm as we can get. Obviously, like we're pretty weak, so
Yeah.
we're just gonna have to wait until we can yoink a shutdown or something. Can always use Proto Belt to farm as well, so don't be shy. Doesn't do that much damage.
Right?
You just ignore the fight. We're not going to be useful if we TP in right. We don't have TP, and if we start walking right now, we're just never going to be useful. So
yeah.
With Ziggs dead, let's just hope our team can win a 4v4, and if they can't, then hopefully just play for steal and call it a day. Yeah, I don't know why this guy is entitled to pinging you when their enemy team is doing Baron and you ping them and he just stood there mid.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
let's just ignore him.
I'm 0-6.
Thank you.
Like,
yeah, it's fine. Life is life. We just move on. Just do what you can in order to come back into the game, farm what you can, and move on through life. It is what it is.
Oh, the game's over. They surrendered.
Yeah, that's fine. Not a big deal.
Oh my god.
I'll be able to go over the stuff with you either way. All right. So let's focus on what we can do.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit you with all the feedback I've got for you for the future. Is this the game? This is the game. Awesome. So your level 1 is decent. But starting level 2, I already feel like we're going into the wrong direction. So let me screen share for you. Here you go. Let me know when you're in.
I see you.
All right, awesome. So, like I mentioned, you really want to just focus on using Q to farm, and here you're healthy enough. So basically, set a threshold for what you're comfortable with and what matchup, how much percentage health. But usually the answer is above 50, you'll be fine. So around 50 is like when it starts getting dangerous in some matchups. But the point is you definitely can take more poke, and you could have gotten this CS, you can get this CS, you can pretty much get all 3 of these CS every single time.
Okay.
The way the Ziggs was pressuring you was really weak, so you can definitely get all the CS here. Same here, right? Getting CS when he misses Q like this, and you have W, you can look to walk up and fish, you know. Especially because he's level 1. So you can actually use W and use the movement speed to get a free Q on him. This will proc Taste of Blood, which is why we run it in the first place, so that we can make our early game a little bit more breathable. But of course, you can also just play a sudden impact. Same thing here, right? He just Q autoed us, we backed off. Now he's going for a CS here. We should have been ready to Q him before, right? So he's stepping in as the CS is getting low. Make sense?
Yeah.
And this is applicable for control mages too, okay? So what I'm going to tell you right now is I'm going to make it as general as possible, so when you do play Ziggs, this is going to be applicable for you too. But pay attention to your creeps. When your creeps get low, people are going to walk up.
Yeah.
That's when you want to throw your spells, or get ready to throw your spells, okay?
Yeah.
Really focus on this. Like here, this guy wants to walk up and CS this creep, right? So you getting ready to start moving like this, you're clicking in the right direction, but the problem is you input an auto attack command instead of keeping moving here like this, right? If you kept moving like this right now, boom, snap a Q in his head, free. Okay. And then reassess, right? Do you want to W and extend that trade, or you want to leave it at that? Like I mentioned, you want to use your Q to farm, and next time, you know, tip of the Q hits this, walk up, W, tip of the Q hits this, boom, you just CS 2 creeps. All good. You're not trying to use your shroud and stuff aggressively right now. You don't need to. The guy's playing too passively. Got the cannon, which is great. Using E to CS, it's all fine. It's all good. It's all dandy. You know, using the shroud to CS makes it a little bit easier to breathe. Same thing here. We want to get both of those CS, right? So let's Q through both of them. Yep, good. CS with Q, which is good. Our shroud's on CD, so we're not looking for anything. That's good. In this case, like I said, right, you want to look for something. He auto-attacked you. This is the creep getting low. Make him choose, right? You're taking a lot of space, and he's giving it to you. So, I mean, honestly, it's not too much. Just be mindful, you know, like get ready to dodge. He's going to throw a spell at you most likely. Yeah. The point is, like here, if he W's you backwards, maybe it hurts a bit, but like it's fine. The idea is the idea is good. The CS is low. He has to choose between doing either or. He can't harass you and CS at the same time. So this is good. You're making him choose. CS ended up getting low anyway, and we'll go hit by Q anyway. But the timing was good. Same thing here, right? We're giving him so much space here when 2 creeps are getting low at the same time. We could be playing like here right now, you know?
Yeah.
And fishing for it. Just pay attention to that, right? Like I'm gonna stop like pausing for every time it happens because whatever. You get the idea, I think. But pay attention to your own creeps HP. When they get low, people are going to want to farm. So this guy's really low resources, so we're just going to, you know, freeze the wave. And now basically is a position where we want to, this is the position where if we can chunk him, this would be really good. So right now, I'd really love if you W forward and chunk him. Just W, Q, passive proc Q, and then E out and just run. You never take E2 here because you just want to base, buy your alternator. After chunking him, you're going to hit 6, and you're going to try and get a kill. So you already want to start building up this kill pressure right now, Because right now he feels a false, like there's a sense of security that is a base advantage on you, right?
Yeah.
You can like snap him out of that instantly. And again, this will be the same for control mages. If you're playing a control mage like Ziggs, right, and you're absolutely murdering some Akali or something, same situation. Just because the guy based and TP'd back or based and walked back doesn't mean you need to base before you can trade. If you're healthy enough to survive the all-in, right? So let's say he needs a 40% health, he can one-shot you, right? Let's say whatever, arbitrary number, right? If you're above that number, you should be using this excess health in order to trade with him before you base TP. Make sense?
Yeah.
Just makes your laning phase much more consistent, right? Much more enjoyable. So you ended up roaming bot. So what I want you to do here is I want you to instantly take vision and then get info, right? Get info and see what people are doing. In this case, Lilia and Blitzcrank are both here. So there's two options you have. Instantly dip and go mid and push, which is the better decision here. Or do what I told you to do, which is stick around and zone him. Now, why did I tell you to stick around and zone him? Because first and foremost, your wave is bouncing to you, which means he will lose farm quicker than you will. And then second, it's because you were hesitating a lot, and I can't micromanage you perfectly because obviously we haven't gone over this. So I want you to do the easiest thing, which is literally just stare at him right now. You just Q him. You're making him waste time. You're making Blitz waste time. You're also seeing what is happening. You're seeing what the health is. Let's say this dragon is actually 4,000 health. Echo might be able to make it now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Getting this information is huge. Okay.
Okay.
You check for the info. Right now you see 3 people. Like I said, if we already discussed this, then I would want you right now to go mid, blow up this wave, and look to make a play into top, or base immediately and buy another Ramp Tome, a Dark Seal, whatever you can afford, and take your free reset. Right? Or you jail him in lane. You freeze and you jail him in lane, right? So you made people help him push out. Now he's low on mana. His resources are bad. And again, we're looking for the solo kill here, and we want to start with R1 into E1, right? But if we realize during R1, actually, the angle doesn't look that good, we can just start queuing him. QW and auto him, right? So like here, right now, he's like, oof. Does this look like an E I'm going to hit?
No, that was such a hope.
I'm not sure.
E. I mean, you could maybe, but like...
The point is, you're about to finish your R1, right? You're about to finish your R1, and if you just W, pick up this passive, auto-Q him, and you're behind him like this, this is going to look pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
You don't even have to W. You can just keep walking here, pick up the W, auto-Q him, and you're going to walk him down here, and he has no flash. He Ws, you tag him with E2, E1, he might be dead. Either way, it's okay. We tried. We learned from last game, which is the R out. And again, the idea here is his conditions are way worse than ours. And we end up getting a base advantage on him, right? So we pushed the cannon wave and spent our cannon gold. He didn't get to do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that is still an advantage. Here, like, yeah, just a little knowledge thing, you know, like, if there is a Zigzag coming or another spell, maybe he's going to want to R back and kill him. Or, like, try to go on him, right?
Yeah.
So there, if you were a bit more ready right now, you know, if you were walking up as this was happening, right? Like, let's say right now, instead of CSing and walking backwards, you're just walking up here right now. Could have killed him.
Yeah.
Together with Echo. Because he's disrespecting the chrono break a lot.
Yeah.
And here, yeah, you got hit by the sleep. Like I said, I think your only way to escape is just pop W immediately. Why do you pop W? So you at least you don't get auto attacked by Ziggs. So when he bursts you in the sleep, you don't get auto Q bursted, right? Like R auto Q. It's literally just QR. It's just a little less extra damage. It's the best you can do, really. So you pop W here, and then when you come out of the W, you won't get one shot, so you can R1 into E1 and escape somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Someone asked me, actually, is a good question. Why do you have to pull why do you pull them away from why do you not freeze towards top side, right? Why do you pull towards the chickens? Because the tower isn't a rectangle. Tower range. It's a circle. So you notice how here there's a sweet spot, and here there's not? So what happens is if you draw the caster minions up here, the melee creeps that come in are going to walk into the tower much more frequently. Rather than here, if you draw them down, there's a bit of a grace, there's a bit of a sweet spot here, you know? Tower range works this way. Maybe my tower range is not drawn expertly, but you get the idea. This is really the reason. This is why the ramp, dragging it towards the ramp is better, because, in fact, I would say the tower range is a little smaller than, I think it's like right about here. And here is like, you don't actually get hit by tower if you play here. So if you drag the minions down, right, your range creeps are going to follow you like this, and they're going to stand here, and they're going to start fighting here, and then when the melee creeps crash, obviously they can still crash into the tower, but you increase your odds of them not crashing into the tower because this is shorter. This is further away from the tower than here. Because you notice how from here, your range creeps being here when you freeze them.
Right.
Because you dragged up, because you're moving your character here. It's closer to the tower range than if you drag them down, right? You're moving your character here, then you drag them down, and your range casters are here. This is further away from the tower. Right?
That's pretty sweet. I'm glad. I feel like that's a good tip. Like a lot of people probably didn't
Very
know
good
that.
for control mages. Very
Yeah.
good for control mages as well, because it just increases your odds of being safe. So here, we managed to get a timing, right? So here, the faster you clear this wave under your tower, the more time you have to move in here. Yes, it's the same on red, of course, it's the same on red. The map is mirrored. So it's the same thing. You want to drag your minions up here because the tower is not rectangle, it's a circle. Anyway, the faster you push this wave or catch it underneath the tower, the faster you can go into this side. Drop your pink here or drop your pink here. And this is why speed is really important. And this is why I will tell you to do something and then tell you to stop doing it. Because at the end of the day, as soon as this mid wave becomes accessible for you and you can start clearing it, I want you to be here and clear it. Because again, let's put it this way. Let's say it takes you. Let's say I clear the mid wave and then I have 15 seconds to go move and do and play, right? Let's say it takes you 5 seconds longer to clear the mid wave and you have 10 seconds to play. I don't want these 10 seconds of you playing to bleed into the next 10 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the 5 seconds you just lost because you were slower, I don't want them to bleed into your next turn. Make sense?
Yeah.
Because every single mid wave, your turn resets to 0. So basically, look at it this way. Every single mid wave, there's going to be a T minus, like basically, how do I even describe this? There's going to be a time equal, like a timer that resets to 0. And when it hits 0, that's when midwave is there. Does that make sense? So right now you've got 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. And when the timer hits 0, midwave is here.
Okay.
Make sense? So the clock is ticking. Ticking, 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 ticking. So your movement needs to be efficient. You need to efficiently walk here as fast as you can, drop the pink, come back, and be ready to take this wave. You cannot hesitate. You know, you can't walk here, sightsee a bit, then walk here, sightsee a bit. Maybe you'll roam bot all the way. Like the point is, if you start doing that, you're going to go -1 CS per wave for no reason.
Yeah.
Because you're inefficient. That's why efficiency is really important. And the next thing is minions don't wait for you. Every single minion wave spawns at... Okay? They spawn at 135. I'm going to rewrite this because it's terribly written. At 105 and at 135, minion wave spawns. Okay? At 11, they spawn. At 111, they spawn. At 22, they spawn. Minion waves will spawn indefinitely, starting from 105 and 135 for the rest of the game. So the point is, if you take a long time to catch this mid wave, right? You take your time clearing this wave, which is why I stressed you to start pushing waves fast. The minions aren't waiting for you. The next minion wave will come at the exact same time every single game, right? Every 30 seconds a minion wave will come. So the more time you take to clear your wave, the less time you have to roam, the less time you have to clear vision, the less time you have to do anything. Which is why pro players really value wave clear. Champions that can't clear waves are considered dog shit in pro because other champs just blow up the wave, move, and play the game. Right? If I'm playing Ziggs versus Vayne, I push in the wave in 2 seconds. She takes 12 to clear the wave. I have 10 seconds more to participate in PvP.
Yeah.
Or she has to choose to drop gold every time I move. So if I have a move timer that actually pressures the enemy team. So for example, if I can move into a tower dive bot lane, the faster I clear this wave, the better. The other way around too. If you are pressuring a move, right? So you just one-shot the wave in 1 second. And now you're threatening to move. If I can one-shot the wave in 1 second, I can match you. But if I take 10 seconds to clear the wave, I can't play the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's the idea, right? That's why I'm stressing you to be fast on the waves, be efficient as possible, right? Because you see how he's blowing up the wave, and the faster you can clear this wave, that's why, like, in terms of positioning on clearing the wave, the more efficiently you do it, right? You stand here and queue all of them, right? That's a big difference because that is saving seconds.
Yeah.
Right? And seconds in League are invaluable. Do you know how long it takes for you to kill MF in this game? Or MF from last game? How long did it take you?
Like 1 second.
Yeah, exactly. So again, that's how much seconds matter in this game.
Yeah.
You really want to make sure that you buy as much time as you can. It starts here. It starts here. So let's look at this all in here and let's identify the situation. So here, when we're fishing for this fight, he queues the wave, you walk up to him, right? He E's, we queue the wave here, and this is a mistake, right? Because you're not defining, basically, the way you're moving, you need to basically determine what you want to do. So if someone queues the wave like this, you need to determine, am I fishing to poke him, or am I just going to clear the wave in exchange? And here, like, you're in between both. You're not kind of committing to anything, and I don't like that. You should be committed to either game plan. Because here you dodge the Q really well, and you actually dodge his E really well too, and then you end up queuing the wave, and it's like, well, what a waste.
That was an accident. I was trying to hit him. That was just me not knowing the bridge.
Okay, fair enough. Because here, if you had waited a little bit, and you waited right now, tag him with Q, you actually could have opened him up for an all-in very nicely. Right? Because he ends up hitting you. And like there, if you tagged him with Q, W, pick it up, get him, butter him up once. Because the thing is, if you butter him up once with an electrocute proc, the next one will kill him, right? So exactly what you do here, basically, we could have done earlier. Nice. So the one thing is like, also is like when you do this combo, like you're doing your combo as if you're hitting a dummy, you know? The guy knows the timing as well, because he's probably played against like Akali more than once in his life, right?
Yeah.
So he knows that you're going to be fishing for E, right? So instead of doing E here, why don't you just R and just throw down the gauntlet? He hasn't W'd yet. Like, he's challenging you.
Yeah.
You R1 him right now, he casts W, you tag him with E, he's dead. Or, like, he's very close to dying, right? Obviously, E is not bad, it's just, you're using it in the timings where it's like, everyone uses E in that timing.
Yeah,
So if you use E at the same timing as everyone uses E, it's pretty easy for me to dodge, ain't it?
Yeah.
Think about that. Okay, we use the E to farm, Lilia shows up, you W here, and here I'm wondering why you W backwards instead of just Wing here and walking through it to your tower and just leaving.
Did I put my cursor down there? Like, is that?
Yeah, you put your cursor here. It matters.
Okay, it matters.
You throw down your shroud towards. Yeah.
Okay.
If you didn't know, now you know. But anyway, I actually liked your adaptation. You chilled in your shroud, you saw an inter, and you try to kill him. Now the only thing is as soon as he W's here, you can't kill him because there's no way for your champ to. The only way to kill him actually is if you Q flash.
Yeah.
Which I don't think Akali can do, if I'm not mistaken. I actually don't know if Akali can Q flash, but if you Q flash and input or not. So basically, if you auto attack input, and auto attack command, and it goes through, flash will not cancel it. Except for very specific situations like Kalista, where you flash out of vision of Kalista. But pretty much every other champion in the game, auto attack will go through. So the only way to sequence this to kill him is to get close enough that you can flash, like auto flash. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you do the auto attack input and then flash. You don't flash auto.
Yeah.
So you auto attack input, then flash. And that would potentially kill him if you Q him as well. So you flash Q and then auto attack input and you could potentially kill him. But it's not easy. Chongles. Hello there, Chongles. Alright, Chongles came to say hi.
Hi. You said Chungus?
Yes, it is Chongles.
So this is different than Mongoose? Question mark?
Mongoose?
Do you have a cat named Mongoose, or is it Chungus?
I really don't have a cat named Mongoose. No.
Okay, I thought
the only Mongoose I know is the It's like some enchant from World of Warcraft.
Okay.
That's the only
cat's name
Mongoose
is
I know.
Chungus.
Yeah, I mean his name's Nacho, but I call him Chongus because he's a chunky motherfucker. Chongus. Alright, not too shabby. Yeah, this fight looks kind of fucked, I'll be fair with you, but just like I said earlier, this little guy's trying to yoink a donut. I have a box of donuts, he's trying to yoink them. He loves the donuts. Cheeky little guy. So the idea is here, if you're not sure about how the fight's going to go, is like, queuing is fine, but follow up with Q with like E1, and just try to tag someone, and if you get a good tag, like right now, maybe you tag the Lilia, and you're like, ooh, actually, I can kill this. But the point is, like, during CC, marking someone with E is going to be really, really good. Make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Then here, like, you can actually look to fight with Vayne, because your shot is really OP against Vayne, but, yeah. I mean, you decided to clear the wave, which is fine. Thingy showed up. Shen kind of pissed in your cornflakes. Not much to do. Shen's a bit of a, annoying when you play Akali, no doubt.
Yeah.
All Gucci.
The Galio,
wave.
Shen second.
Alright, sweet. Yeah, pretty painful. Welcome to playing Assassins. Same thing here, right? Like here we're going to recon W, and if you mark him with E right now, E goes out, marks her. Then right now she's marked by E2. You can maybe take it. Maybe not. You know, it's probably pretty fucked either way. But keep in mind, if you use your Shroud, you cannot look for anything.
Yeah.
Like, really. That's just the way your champ works, you know. Get hooked and die. Not much to do about that. And yeah, the game's just pretty fucked. There's my Cortex another loop around. Little chunky boy. Yeah, I mean, this is a bit of a miserable game. So, what I want you to focus on, and I'm going to give you general advice here, okay? So the first thing I want you to focus on, keep doing this, okay? Tab. Get information before you play the game. 2. React. Same thing for all your control mages, okay? Wait until someone does something, right?
Yeah.
PCS me poke. Okay? Trust me, it will make your skill shot accuracy go up by a lot. Next up, Pixel Bush. Okay? We didn't get to do it because we got fucked in every single game and we were weak as hell, but I do want you to build the habit of when you're good in the game, go through mid here and you look for these fights, okay? If you're playing control mages especially, a lot of times you're going to show up, clean up a lot of kills. Very good. Okay?
Yeah.
So, third will be Pixel Bush. My goodness! Fucking cat, man. Unbelievable. Bonk. 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 Unbelievable.
8 bonks. That's number 4. Okay.
Little piece of shit. Unbelievable what he's doing. This is what I want you to focus on, okay? These
Okay.
3 things.
I'm taking him.
And then obviously, I will just have to say it, but like, win lane, okay?
Well, I got yeah.
Interact with your opponent and hit him, okay? Like, unfortunately, we didn't get to see any of that
I know
today.
I feel
But
so
when you
bad
play
for anybody
Ziggs,
watching.
I know it's going to be fine. Don't worry. I'm gonna open a Discord channel for you. I'm gonna be in. You're gonna be able to ask me questions. So feel free to just, if you have any questions about control mages, relevant, feel free. I feel bad for you too because I told you, right. If you want to do Akali, we can do Akali. But like, just usually I tell people, like, usually my advice is just like, if you want to play a champion that you don't play, make sure that you're going to spam it.
Yeah.
So all the things I'm telling you right now, they're going to be very helpful for you in the next 20 games of Akali. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, patience with E, patience with R. Okay? Use Shroud early. That's my number 1 tip. Because when you come out of Shroud, it's way harder to react to these spells than when you're just standing in front of them, right? Like if you do auto Q, like let's say you Q, auto Q, like pick up your passive, walk up to the guy, auto Q, E, like of course the guy is going to expect that because that's what you do against the dummy. But if you press W and then get near him, you do Q, press W, go back in, pick up your passive, auto Q him, and then wait. The next time you go in stealth, right? So that timing after that second comp, like the second basic second Q, right? So you first Q, get your passive, then you use Shroud to get near him. You proc your passive, you hit him with the second Q. It's that timing right there, that stealth timing, that you can start considering R1, E1, and then you're going to just have to learn the options. So whatever the options are that you're going to learn to use, it is up to you at the end of the day, right?
Right.
I recommend you just pick a combo that you see that appeals to you. So if that is R1 into E1, this is what I did, okay? I did R1, E1, and I swear to God, I was playing Chinese solo queue, I remember, and I missed, I think the first 20 games, I missed like 90% of them. And it was miserable, like
Yeah.
I looked like an absolute boosted animal. I was like 1200, 1300 LP, fucking high, one of the highest ranked pro players on that server at the time, right? And I'm missing my fucking Akali E's every fucking chance I get. Like, I swear, like, I can't believe I didn't get spam pinged. I was disgusting. But eventually, I got really good at hitting them because I learned how people were dodging, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So, my point is, you're going to have to suffer, like you suffered right now on stream. You're going to have to suffer another probably 10 to 15 games. Practice on dummies. If you want me to show you again, do you remember the combos?
Yeah. So
I can write them down for you. I'll write them down
Okay.
for you right here. Okay, I'll write them down and I'll send them to you. So, right? Q, W, Q, W, auto attack Q. And then learn from it. Do this really fast. Learn to get really fast at this, right? RE. And honestly, I'm going to leave it there. Just practice these two, okay?
Okay.
Practice these two. Get really good at these. Open people up by doing max range Q, W, go backwards. You know Akali Q slows the tip, right?
Yes.
Good. Slows the tip and you get movement speed when you pick up your passive. So you go out, pick up your passive, pop W, run at the guy. And then you do auto attack Q, and then boom. Right?
Right.
This is going to be it for me. Again, if you don't want to play Akali, just message me and we'll figure something out. I'll try to help you a bit more with control mages over text instead. If you feel really bad about the fact that you end up trying to Akali and you don't actually like her that much now that you've gone a bit in depth with her. But that's going to be it for me.
Thanks, Bwipo. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry that it didn't. This is honestly. I'll be fair with you. This is the first time that like game 2 hasn't been successful so far for me. So usually like game 1 is a disaster or like not very good, and then the advice I give people starts making game 2 much better, and they see results already. But unfortunately, I think Akali is a little bit too complex. The champion is fucking hard.
Right.
Like I said, it's not a champion that I picked up. Like I'd say I'm bad at her right now, and I pumped like 50, 60 games into this champion. And I was still bad after 50 or 60 games. Like I was just not very good. This is a very complicated champion in my opinion. But yeah.
Absolutely. Well, no, I appreciate you help anyway. I just hope that people like watching the stream like got learned something. That's what I feel bad about mainly, like, you know. But
Okay.
yeah, that's
I think
great.
the homies got some content, and they learned a
Cool.
thing or two for sure. So I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you
man.
very much. Have a good
Thank
one.
you. You too. Hope to see you in pro placing.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Take care.
absolutely. Bye.
Peace out.